wonderful champions. A very big hello to my wonderful children out there. Just give me a quick second. Let me see if at all. Yes, I am visible and I think I am audible as well. Hello everyone. So anyone watching this video, can you please let me know if at all I am audible as well as visible? It will be really great. And also everyone, please do not forget to share this video with all of your friends, the link to this video, because today we are going to cover human health and diseases, one very important chapter for your PU2 because it gives you 11 marks in total. And in KCET is also important. Why? Because it gave you 4, 5, 4, 3, 3, 3, 3 questions almost every year. So we can expect 3 to 5 questions coming off from this chapter, and if at all you do not want to miss it, definitely watch it. Something Winter, a very big hello dear. I hope you are doing great. So we'll just wait for a few more seconds so that everyone else also can join up. And by that time, yes. So it is already shared in the WhatsApp channel. If at all you have some friends who are waiting for this, you can ask them also to join. Okay, let's check the screen then. Okay, is it clear? Yes. Fine, then let's begin. Let everyone come slowly. Purvi, hello dear, hello. Very big hello. Okay, so let's begin with today's session, where today every one of us are going to study this chapter, and concept number 1 that we're going to cover is infectious diseases. Okay, infectious diseases are a very important topic and we need to cover it together. Something Mentor, ma'am, I'm in 10th. Oh my God, yes, I remember you. What are you doing here? Go study for class 10th. And that's so sweet of you to come over here, by the way. Okay, so children, listen to me. What do you mean by infectious diseases? Infectious disease is something that can transmit from one person who is diseased to someone else. For example, if at all I talk about common cold, you might have seen if at all the people do not sneeze like this, we might also get the disease. Why? Because while they sneeze, in the air droplets, you have got the virus which spreads, right? So which is why we say that it is infectious, right? And now we have non-infectious diseases which are not spread through. For example, what about cancer? Cancer is a disease which is not going to be spread from one person to the other person. It is not something that is infectious in nature. What about AIDS? AIDS, on the other hand, my dear children, it is infectious in nature. And yes, you are going to study about all of them in this particular video. Okay, so bye something Mentor, see you soon. Okay, so over here the discovery of blood circulation was done by William Harvey. Just remember this, the question have not yet come, but we never know when will it pop up. So please remember, discovery of blood circulation was done by William Harvey. Then and now we'll actually get into infectious diseases. And the first type of infectious disease that we have are bacterial diseases, my dear children. And the first bacterial disease which is there, it is typhoid. So I have given a picture over here, but before I get into that, I need to give you certain information about typhoid. So as you have seen, it's bacterial diseases. What bacteria causes this disease, my dear children? It is Salmonella typhi that causes this disease. And you know what? How do we get the infection? We get the infection by contaminated food as well as water. So when we have contaminated food and water, this bacteria which is there, Salmonella typhi, gets into our body and goes into the small intestine. Now these terms are something that you need to remember. Where does it go? It goes to the small intestine, and it also goes to the blood and all the other organs of the body, but the primary attack is done on the small intestine. Now what are the symptoms that anyone who has typhoid will be having? They will be having high fever, that is almost up to 39 degrees to 49 degrees Celsius. They will be having weakness. Obviously if you have fever, you will be having weakness. There will be stomach pain. Why? It's not actually stomach pain, but since your small intestine is being affected, you will be having a pain out there. So we say stomach pain. Then there will be constipation, again because your small intestine is affected. You will be having headache. When you have fever, you will be having headache. You can remember like that. And my dear children, since you have constipation, there will be loss of appetite. Appetite means basically you are not feeling to have food. You are not able to have too much amount of food. So remember the symptoms like this. Why? Because this is a very important PU2 concept. You can be asked about any disease out there, about their symptoms, about what organ is being affected, and what happens if at all things get worse. So if generally in typhoid you have high fever, since because of high fever we have weakness, and because of fever I have headache, apart from that I have stomach pain because my small intestine is affected, and since my small intestine is affected I also have constipation, and since I have constipation I have loss of appetite as well. These are the symptoms that you have for typhoid. Okay, severe cases, now this is important. Severe cases, it may lead to intestinal perforation, it means that there will be certain holes in your intestine. That is what you mean by intestinal perforation. And obviously if intestine is perforated, my dear children, it can naturally lead to what? Death also. So typhoid can be dangerous, right? Now in your NCERT, only at two places they have mentioned diagnostic test, that is test for diseases. One is typhoid, another one is AIDS, apart from cancer. Okay, typhoid and AIDS are the infectious ones where basically you have the diagnostic test. What is the name for diagnostic test of typhoid? It is known as Vidal test. It is known as Vidal test. Now let's come back over here. Just a second, okay. Vinod, this channel has provided top-notch content in English, which I could rely on. Thank you so much. This channel was a lifesaver. That's so sweet of you, Vinod. Thank you for coming over here and commenting it down. It means a lot. It means a lot to come back and tell that, right? I'm really grateful for you. And yes, everyone who is watching this video, I hope you guys also can trust us. Right? Do you need a comment for trusting us? I don't think so, right? You can trust us like that only. There is no other channel on YouTube providing content like yours. Thank you. That means a lot. Ma'am, please prepare us for second PU board. Madiha Madhu, dear, I am preparing you for second PUC board. So this video is going to help for your PUC also. This is going to help for your KCET also. So please listen to me carefully. Okay? Done? Clear? Okay. So, yeah, where were we? Yeah, we were talking about typhoid, Mary. So I told you it passes through contaminated food and water, right? So there was a lady whose name was Mary Mallon actually. Her name was Mary Mallon, and she was a cook at some royal place. Okay, you can imagine like that. This particular person, she had typhoid. But you know, some people are asymptomatic and they can live with typhoid forever. Okay, they're resistant to it and they can live with typhoid forever. They will be just the carriers. So she was one such person. She was a carrier of typhoid. And since she was a cook, she had to cook the food. But you know what? She had one bad habit. She didn't used to wash her hands, which is why, okay, through her fecus, which is there on her head, the contamination which is there on her hand, the things were passed on to the food. And the people who had her food, my dear children, all of them, they used to get typhoid. That is why her name got pretty much famous and she was known as what? Typhoid Mary. So every one of you, after going to washroom, please wash your hands. Even I know that you guys are so educated and everything out there, but we should be washing our hands properly, not like this. We should be washing it with proper soap out there. I hope that's clear. So this is all about typhoid, and typhoid is caused by a bacteria whose name is Salmonella typhi. I hope this is super clear. For every one of you who think that this concept is super clear, can you just give me a thumbs up? It will be really kind of you if you give me a thumbs up, because I'll get an understanding that it's clear and I can move on to the next topic. Can I? And we will be soon solving questions also, so be careful about everything that you're seeing over here. 10 people watching this video and everyone is shy to give a thumbs up. Or is it like you didn't understand it? Come on, children. Okay, I think you guys are waiting for something big to happen. So let's wait for some time. Okay, and then you will be automatically talking to me, right? Fine. So over here we have the second bacterial disease. Thank you, Chandrika. Thank you. That's so sweet of you. Thank you for giving me the thumbs up. Fine. Pneumonia is the next bacterial disease out there. Now you might have heard that pneumonia is not just caused by bacteria, it's caused by virus also. There are different type of pneumonia. But in your NCERT there is only one, and that is the bacterial form of pneumonia. And you need to understand the difference between pneumonia and common cold. These are the questions that usually come up. So pneumonia is caused by two guys. One guy is Streptococcus pneumoniae. The second guy is Haemophilus influenzae. Streptococcus pneumoniae, Haemophilus influenzae. They can give you a question that pneumonia is caused by Streptococcus influenzae and Haemophilus pneumoniae, do not get it wrong. It is Streptococcus pneumoniae and Haemophilus influenzae. H-I and S-P. Okay. Now, where does it go and infect? It goes and infects our alveoli. Alveoli is basically part of what? Our lungs. So if at all you have seen this particular diagram, our lungs, when we breathe in certain things, my dear children, all our air goes into small structures like this. You call these structures as what? Alveoli. And these alveoli, my dear children, are richly supplied with blood vessels. They are richly supplied with what? Blood vessels. So what happens? Whatever oxygen is over there, it will be going into our blood. And that is how our body is going to get enough amount of oxygen. Now you just think of a scenario where instead of air, there is mucus being filled. There is mucus being filled. Do you think the exchange of gases can happen smoothly? No. And that is exactly happening in pneumonia. In the case of pneumonia, it affects your alveoli, filling them with fluid. It can be mucus, it can be another water type of fluid also, leading to what? Breathing issues. So always remember, pneumonia affects your lower respiratory system. Lower. This is the upper respiratory system. Your nose, your pharynx and everything, it comes under upper respiratory system. It affects your lower respiratory system. And what are the symptoms that you're going to have? You are going to obviously have fever. Okay, any infection that happens in our body is going to increase the temperature. Why? Because we want to kill up all the organisms out there. That is why the temperature is being increased, right? So fever will definitely be there. Apart from that, we will also have chills. Okay, we will also have chills. We definitely would have cough, because why? The mucus which is there filled in, it tries to go out, right? It's very difficult for us to breathe. That's why there will be cough. Since we have fever, we will also have headache. Again, same like typhoid. Now, severe cases, lips and nails turn bluish gray in color. Why? Because there is high level of oxygen deficiency out there. So, fever is there, chills is there. Because of fever, you have headache also, you can remember like that. And cough is also going to be there. There is no cold, cough is going to be there. You will be doing like that. Okay, because your body is reacting to the fluids which are there in your lungs. You want to throw it out. That's the reason you have cough. Got it? Now, severe cases is what? Lips as well as your nails, my dear children, will turn bluish gray in color because of oxygen deficiency. Now, how is it going to be transmitted? It is going to be transmitted by inhalation of infected droplets out there. So someone does achi, all the droplets are in the air, and now when we breathe in, it gets into our body. So inhalation of infected droplets. Apart from that, sharing utensils with an infected person, because again, when you're sharing utensils with an infected person, what is going to happen? Suppose you had done achi with this hand, and now I'm going to touch a vessel out there and I'm going to give it to my brother. What is going to happen? He is going to take that vessel, right? And on the vessels, you have all the contamination. Again, if that person goes, put their hand near the nose, what is going to happen? They are going to take that in. So that is why we say it's a droplet infection, and also by sharing of utensils and things like that, it can be caused. That is all about pneumonia, caused by two types of bacteria. Now you need to remember, in your NCERT, it's not just typhoid and pneumonia which are bacterial diseases. They have given in the last line of pneumonia that there are some other bacterial diseases as well. Know their name. First one is dysentery. So whenever you have your stool, your fecus mixed with some blood, if blood is there in your stool, my dear children, you call this as dysentery. Amoebic dysentery is different, that is caused by amoeba. Here it's normal dysentery out there. Apart from dysentery, you might have heard about plague. Plague is a bacterial disease. What about diphtheria? It's also bacterial disease. So basically, DPD. Dysentery, plague and diphtheria are also coming under bacterial diseases. In total, you have 5 bacterial diseases. Cool. Ma'am, I'm a dropper. Please guide me for KCET. Please, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm a dropper for... Okay. So for KCET, start, if at all you are a dropper, I think you have enough amount of time to go ahead. We have made several videos on the high weightage chapters of KCET. Go ahead, start off with these chapters and please start solving PYQs. They are super important to get you an understanding of the previous year concept. If at all you are done with the high weightage chapters, PYQs, it is very good. Go ahead with the other chapters. Do not leave anything and do not take PU1 lightly. Cover those chapters as well. Okay, it gives you 20 marks, almost 15 to 20 marks in your KCET examination. So don't miss that. Fine? Ullas, and yeah, Dhanashri, Purvi and Madhu, thank you so much, dear. So 5 bacterial diseases, I hope that is also clear. And now we will go ahead with one very important question out there. Identify the symptoms of pneumonia. Can you tell me, out of these things which are given over here, which one is the symptom of pneumonia? This is 2023 question of KCET examination. And for PU2, all the symptoms and the causing agent is usually being asked. So it's a straight question that comes up. Guys, can you try attempt this question? Identify the symptoms of pneumonia: nasal congestion and discharge, cough, sore throat and headache, constipation, abdominal pain, cramps and blood clots, or high fever, weakness, stomach pain, loss of appetite, difficulty in breathing, fever, chills, cough and headache. What do you think is your answer for this question? Ullas, you are most welcome, dear. Guys, can you tell me the answer for this question? Come on, come on. Purvi, Chandrika, Dhanashri, Madhu, all of you who are watching this video. Come on, come on, come on, champs. I'm waiting for you guys. Okay, Purvi said the answer for this question is D. D is what? Difficulty in breathing, fever, chills, cough and headache. Is it? Difficulty in breathing, yes, obviously, because your lungs is affected. Fever and chills, I told you. Cough is also there. Headache is also there. Okay, Purvi, Chandrika, Dhanya, Madiha, everyone says the answer for this question is D. And you know what? You guys are awesome. Ullas is also there. Yes. So I didn't know that you were a biology student. Otherwise, I would have asked you also. So you guys are great. The answer for this question is D itself. Cool. Now, nasal congestion, discharge, sore throat and headache. These things that you see over here, this is also kind of similar. Your nose is being congested, you have discharge, you have cough, you have sore throat and headache. Well, this is mostly related to the upper respiratory tract. That means these are the symptoms of the next disease that we are going to study, which is common cold. And common cold is not a bacterial disease. It's caused by virus. It is caused by what? Virus, which is why I'll say it is viral disease out there. So common cold, my dear children, it is caused by rhinoviruses. It is a group of virus. And you know what? We generally say that you do not have any medicine for common cold. Why? Because virus know their genetic material mutates really fast. So even if we find a medicine for it, they will change their whole setup again. And then we have to find a new thing, right? So that is why we say the viruses, things cannot be treated. You have to wait for 7 whole days for common cold to subside because your body itself will fight against it. Okay, so rhinovirus is the virus that causes common cold. Now, as I said, it affects your upper respiratory system, not the lower one, which is why you will have nasal congestion. Your nose will be blocked. You will be having sore throat and you will be having cough. You will be having headache and also tiredness. And mostly it lasts for 3 to 7 days. Infection area, as I told you, it's the nose and the respiratory passage, not the lungs. And in respiratory passage, what? It will be upper respiratory passage. Mode of transmission similar to pneumonia itself. How is pneumonia being transported? Because transferred by droplets, by contaminated objects that we are touching, all of it is similar to pneumonia in that particular case. Done. Now in your NCERT, just a second. Geeta, hello dear, hello. Okay. Now, in your NCERT, one more thing, one very important thing is given that most of us usually miss. So, common cold is not just the viral disease. You have few more diseases out there, such as you have dengue and chikungunya. Dengue and chikungunya. Have you heard about it? They both also are viral disease. In your NCERT, polio is mentioned. Polio is mentioned. This is also a viral disease. So 4 of these diseases are coming under what? Viral diseases. And out of them, 2 of them, you know how they are transferred? They are not droplet infection. They are transferred by the bite of mosquito. What mosquito? It is Aedes mosquito. Dengue and chikungunya are basically transmitted by Aedes mosquito. Anopheles mosquito is different. This is Aedes mosquito. So my dear children, until now we have covered bacterial and viral diseases. Under bacterial, you have typhoid, you have pneumonia, DPD, and that is dysentery and plague and diphtheria, right? Over here under viral disease, you have common cold, dengue, chikungunya as well as polio. Dengue and chikungunya are spread with the help of mosquito, which is Aedes mosquito. I hope that is clear. Okay. Madam, I want to score out of out in biology, but I'm scared now. Arey, you will get out of out in biology. Why there is a point to be scared about it? You tell me. Guys, you give me the answer for this question. By that time, I'll talk to Geeta about it, okay? A doctor identifies symptoms of nasal congestion, headache, sore throat, hoarseness, cough in the patient. The conclusion is that the patient is infected by a pathogen, adenovirus, rhinovirus, and Plasmodium salmonella. What do you think is the answer for this question? Very simple question, no? In 2016, if you have given the paper, you would have got the marks. So listen, there is no point in being scared, Geeta. Look, if at all you start today, you get your marks. If at all you do not, what is going to happen? You will not get your marks, right? And if at all you're not trying for yourself, that's the point when you get tired of things. But if you know that, yeah, I am trying my best, what's there to be scared about it? Nothing, right? What worse could happen? Think about it. So start off from today. There is no point in being scared. Face it off, okay? Face it off. You will be able to do it. Trust in yourself, okay? Ma'am, your YouTube videos are enough for KCET under 1000 because I'm a dropper. Yes, Ullas, it would be enough. And also there is ABHYAS KCET test series. I'll recommend you go take it up. That is definitely going to help you out. It's for ₹1499. It is definitely helping. It is going to help you out. If at all you are a dropper and you have enough time to go ahead and give the mock test, please take that up. Okay? So Purvi says the answer for this question is B. Madhiha also says, Dhanyashri also, Chandrika, everyone is saying the answer for this question is B. B is what? Rhinovirus. Exactly. This rhinovirus causes common cold. Done. This is your KCD question. Now, we come ahead with the next this type of diseases, which is what? Protozoan diseases. And the first protozoan disease that we have is what? Malaria. And malaria is one of my favorite topic as well, because most of our children get confused with this. So malaria is caused by Plasmodium baba, and Plasmodium is a protozoan. And we have three types of Plasmodium. Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium malariae, and Plasmodium falciparum. The one that I have marked in red, you know why I have marked in red? Because this is the most dangerous form of pathogen out there. If at all someone is affected with P. falciparum, there are chances that they might even die. It's the most fatal form of malaria that they cause. Now, how is this particular disease being spread? We always say malaria is caused by mosquito bite. But Papa mosquito is getting framed. Papa mosquito is getting framed. What is the name of this mosquito? It is Anopheles mosquito. Okay, hi dear. Hi Prasad. Okay, so it is Anopheles mosquito, and how do you think it is going to be spread? So for that, I have made up some very important thing, interesting thing. So Plasmodium, which is there, you know what happens? It gets inside the mosquito. That is Anopheles mosquito. In the Anopheles mosquito, it travels to the salivary gland of the Anopheles mosquito. From this point onwards, you have to imagine. So now the Plasmodium is there inside the salivary gland of the Anopheles mosquito. It is in a particular stage, and you call this stage as what? Sporozoite stage. Now what happens? Mosquito comes to bite us. When it comes to bite us, you know what? It needs to drink blood very easily. And our blood naturally gets clotted very easily. So we do not want that clotting to happen. This mosquito does not want clotting to happen. It wants to just drink the blood. So what does it do? It releases some anti-clotting stuff out there with the help of saliva. So it basically passes down its saliva into our body, and with that it passes the anti-clotting enzyme. But now in the saliva, what was there? In the saliva, sporozoite was there. So sporozoite is now officially entered our body, right? It has entered our body. In our body, it goes to the first camp. So think of it like a terrorist, and this terrorist has two camps in our body. The first camp is liver. In the liver, it gets into the cells of the liver. What do you call the cells of the liver as? You call the cells of the liver as hepatocytes. What do you call this? Hepatocytes. In the hepatocytes, these Plasmodium, they are going to undergo asexual mode of reproduction. Why? Because if at all they are undergoing asexual mode of reproduction, they can spread really fast. Remember, in human body, the Plasmodium does not undergo sexual mode of reproduction, only asexual. Okay, so it undergoes asexual mode of reproduction. Now you only think, within a cell, there are so many Plasmodium out there. This cell will one day definitely burst open, right? It definitely will burst open, and when it bursts open, my dear children, what is going to happen? It was there inside the cells of the liver, and now they are throughout in our blood. This is going to be the second camp for this terrorist, that is Plasmodium. So it entered our body in the sporozoite stage, it infected our liver, and now it is going to infect our blood. In the blood, they have specifically one very important target, and that is what? RBC. In the RBC, my dear children, you know what? They repeat the same thing. They are going to undergo asexual reproduction again. And by the way, all of you who are watching this video, just understand that there are multiple stages of plasmodium out there. I am not mentioning it because it's not there in your NCERT also. Okay, so it infects us in sporozoite stage, later it changes the stages. Anyway, inside the RBC, it is now undergoing asexual reproduction. Now I need your attention over here. Okay, listen to me carefully. So apart from undergoing asexual reproduction, they are doing one more thing inside our RBC, and you will be really angry on them when you understand what they are going to do. So the hemoglobin molecule which is there in our RBC, the plasmodium which is undergoing asexual reproduction, my dear children, this plasmodium is going to break down the hemoglobin which carries our oxygen, and it breaks it down to what? Heme as well as globin. And you know what? This heme which is there, it is very toxic. Very much toxic for plasmodium, which is why plasmodium immediately converts this heme into something else which is known as hemozoin. So since heme is toxic for them, they convert into hemozoin, right? Now plasmodium is also there. They are also asexually reproducing over here. They are increasing the number. One day will come when the cell is going to burst open. And when the cells are burst open, my dear children, these plasmodium, they are going to release outside. Apart from that, the hemozoin is also going to be released outside. And when this happens, you know what? We are toxic. We are not toxic, sorry. Hemozoin is toxic for us. Hemozoin is going to be toxic for us, which is why we are going to have what? Fevers and chills. We will get fevers and chills because of this particular guy. Get it? That is why in malaria, you have fevers and chills in between few days out there. Okay, and one very important thing, I told you they undergo asexual reproduction, and after that, what are the things that are going to be released, or what is the stage which is being formed over here? This stage is known as gametocyte stage. In sporozoite stage, they affected us. Now they are in gametocyte stage inside our blood. Now again, a mosquito will be coming in. That is, female Anopheles mosquito will be coming in to drink the blood. When it comes to drink the blood, what happens? The gametocytes which are there over here, they are going to be taken up by the mosquito. Now inside the gut of the mosquito, my dear children, these gametocytes are going to form gametes, that is male and female gametes. Now these gametes are going to fuse together to do sexual reproduction. So where does the sexual reproduction happens? Inside mosquito's gut. Now you got the baby plasmodium out there. These plasmodium will move from the gut to the salivary gland of the mosquito. And the stage where it goes is known as sporozoite. And again, we are in back zero. Got it? So what are things that you need to definitely remember? The important things that you need to remember is that affecting stage is sporozoite. Where does it first affect? Liver, then the RBCs. In the RBC, again, they are going to undergo asexual reproduction, and they are going to form gametocytes. Apart from gametocytes, there is hemozoin release, which causes what? Fevers and chills. There is no sexual reproduction happening inside the human body. Sexual reproduction happens inside the mosquito. Done. That's all. That's the only thing that you need to remember. Now let's come over here. So enters humans as sporozoite via the mosquito bite, multiplies in liver, then attack the RBC, causing what? Rupture. Hemozoin toxin is released, causing chills as well as high fever. Every 3 to 4 days gap, you will be able to see this. Mosquito bites infect the person. Parasites reproduce inside the mosquito. Sexual reproduction inside the mosquito only. Requires 2 hosts. One is us, the other one is mosquito. Mosquito is also going to act like a, what do you call? Vector. Done. Got it? Got it? So now let's solve this question. I'll read out the children who are commenting down over here. So let me just read out the question. Some of the events occur during life cycle of plasmodium are given below. Identify the correct statement. So out of these statements given over here, can you identify which one is the correct statement? Okay, just follow what ma'am is teaching you and you can score good. Okay, thank you so much, dear. Okay. Till when the syllabus will be completed, ma'am? So basically, dear, over here in the form of Brahmastra series, we had already completed everything out there, all the important questions. Now we have started off the one-shot lectures. So we have started off Master Stroke series, and by almost 20th of Feb or 26th of Feb, you can expect Master Stroke to be completed. Those will be the one-shot lectures, and also along with that, there will be KCET PYQs also. So in that one short lecture, it will be useful for all the PU2 as well as KCET children. So if at all you are someone studying for PU2 or KCET, watch the master stroke. It is definitely going to help you out. Okay. In this 0 to Hero series, we are just completing the high weightage chapters out there, because obviously this needs a lot of time out there, right? And you also probably would not be having that much time to complete the entire chapters. So in that case, master stroke is definitely going to help you out. Okay, guys, try to solve this question. The sporozoites reproduce sexually in liver cells. The gametocytes develop in RBC. Female mosquito takes up sporozoites with the blood meal. Okay. When mosquito bites a man, gametocytes are injected. You are asked what is the correct statement. So everyone who got to understand these, the entire life cycle of Plasmodium, for you it will be super easy. Try Marty everyone. And Parshuram was there who said hi. So I missed you dear in between. So hi, very big hi. Are you guys solving? I'm waiting. And by the way, everyone who is new to this channel and who have not subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe to it right now, okay? And not forget to click on the like button as well. So Purvi, Dhanashri, Madiha, Parshuram, Chandrika, everyone, guys, I'm waiting for your answer. Vinod also, if at all you're watching this. Ullas, Vinod, everyone out there. Or shall I just go ahead? You are being asked what is the correct statement. Okay, now over here the first statement says that the sporozoite reproduce sexually in liver cells. Liver is our mosquito. Does it have liver, Baba? No. So do you think it will be reproducing sexually in the liver cells? No. There is no sexual reproduction happening in the human body. So this is definitely wrong. The gametocytes develop in RBC. This thing we have just studied in RBC, gametocytes are being developed, and apart from that, hemozoin is also being formed out there, right? So this particular statement is going to be correct. What about C? Female mosquito takes up sporozoites with the blood meal. Female mosquito, what are they going to take up? They are going to take up gametocytes, because now in the blood you have gametocytes, right? So they are going to take up gametocytes with the blood meal, not the sporozoites. So this is going to be wrong. When mosquito bites a man, gametocytes are injected. When mosquito bites a man, my dear children, do you think gametocytes are injected? No, sporozoites are injected. So this is also going to be wrong. The only right answer that you have for this question would be B. Yes, Madiha, yes, Purvi. Okay, so the answer for this question is going to be B. Fine. Children, you're understanding it. If at all you think that I should be pausing at some point of time, you can let me know. Okay, and for everyone who is preparing for KCET, as I already told you, there is ABHYAS KCET test series that we have launched. There are 35 mock tests, and there is chapter-wise KCET PYQs, and this is something that I'll definitely recommend you to try out. Why? Because as of now, you're studying for PU2, and if at all you're someone who is not understanding how to manage your time for KCET, start solving this chapter-wise KCET question. One chapter is done, go ahead, solve the questions. 60 questions, 60 minutes. Under timer, it will be there. So you will get an idea about your speed and accuracy as well. Okay? I hope this is super clear to you, right? Now, one more very important thing, there are thousands of children who made the best use of it. This is trusted by so many of the children, and out of 3 lakh children appearing for KCET examination previous year, there were n number of students who got the best ranks. Out of them, there are few names mentioned over here. Prajwal with rank 171, and Kiran with rank 443, Deeksha with rank 693, and the list goes on. So please check it out. The link will be there in the description section as well. Okay? So let's now go ahead. Over here, I have one more question related to malaria. Please try to solve this. Malignant malaria is caused by Plasmodium malariae, Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium falciparum, and Plasmodium rubrum. Which one is the correct answer for this question? Malignant form of malaria is caused by what? Any idea? Guys, I'm waiting for your answer. Listen, if at all you do not answer, and if at all you just make me talk, it will be really boring. Because what is going to happen? I am going to get tired. And then when I'm going to get tired, who will have the energy to talk to you guys? Purvi M. Joshi says the answer for this question is C. Yes, that's a spirit. So Plasmodium falciparum is what Purvi is saying. Is there anyone with any different answer out there? Malignant malaria, as in the most dangerous form of malaria, is caused by what organism is being asked over here, and the answer for this question is correct. It is Plasmodium falciparum. Got it? Yes. So that is the first protozoan disease that we just studied right now. Okay, that is what do you call malaria. Oh, apart from that, there is also one more protozoan disease which you are yet to study, and that is amoebiasis. Amoebiasis, my dear children, is caused by ant amoeba histolytica. Again, important for your PU2. All the diseases, their symptoms are important for your PU2. Not audible, is it? Am I not audible? So what I am able to check over here is that I am audible. Am I audible for everyone else, or is it just Ramesh who is facing that problem? Children, if I am audible, can you give me a thumbs up? If at all I am audible, can you just give me a thumbs up? So I am able to hear myself, so definitely I am audible. Ramesh, can you please check? Please reload. Okay. Thank you, Purvi. Thank you, Chandrika. Yes. So I am audible, so that means Ramesh has to check. Okay, let's go ahead. So it is caused by ant amoeba histolytica, my dear children, and it's almost like typhoid, but you need to understand that in typhoid your small intestine was getting affected. Over here it's not the small intestine but the large intestine which is getting affected, and it is also known as amoebic dysentery. Why it is known as amoebic dysentery, amoebiasis? Because over here you will be finding seeing dysentery, as in with your stool there will be some amount of blood also being released. Okay, and it is caused by ant amoeba histolytica. So over here amoebiasis or amoebic dysentery is there. The symptoms are constipation, abdominal pain, cramps, blood and mucus in the stool. So constipation will be there again, because why? Because your large intestine is being affected, and there will be abdominal pain as well, there will be cramps as well, and the blood and mucus will be there in the stool. Okay, that is why it is known as dysentery. Now going ahead with the next thing, that is how it is going to get transmitted. Live air. It is going to be transmitted by what? Contaminated food as well as water. Okay, that is how transmission is going to happen. So that is why I said typhoid and amoebiasis have some role to play. Yeah. And my dear children, also one more very important thing, house flies which are there, they are going to act like carriers out there. They are going to spread the disease. They are not something that gets infected. They are not the host. They just spread the disease. As in, if at all they are sitting on some contaminated food, it is going to be transferred to, they are going to transfer it to the other food items as well. Got it? Clear? So this is how things work, and please remember large intestine, constipation, abdominal pain, and as well as cramps. Okay? Thank you, S. Karthik, and everyone out there who said I'm audible. So now there is a question that was given in your PU2 MQP1, model question paper 1. It goes like this. Symptoms of constipation, abdominal pain, and cramps are associated with a disease. What disease is being asked? So the options are given over here. We all know the answer for this question, and that is what? Amoebiasis. So you can get these type of questions also. So as I said, be sure you know the symptoms. Otherwise, you might make some very big mistakes out there. Now just give me a quick second, okay? Just give me a quick second. I need to drop a message, very important message. Where is it? Okay, fine. So we are in the next group of disease, which is what? Helminthic disease. So bacterial done, viral done, protozoan done, and helminthic. So what do you mean by helminthic? It makes us seize the hell, right? So actually, helminthic disease means Aschelminthus. There's a group of organisms which are known as Aschelminthus. They look like worms. They're not exact worms out there. Yes, and the diseases caused by them are known as helminthic disease. And the first disease that you have is Escherichiasis. You know, Escherichiasis is caused by Ascaris lumbricoides, which is also commonly known as roundworm. So this is the roundworm which is up there. And this guy is going to cause a lot of trouble up there. Why? Because it is going to affect your intestine. So this also has something to do with your intestine. The third disease with the intestinal problem. But here the problem is even more grave. So it causes internal bleeding, my dear children. Okay, it causes internal bleeding. There will be muscle pain, there will be fever, there will be anemia and intestinal blockage. So what happens is that they get inside our intestine, and there will be so much of them in number. So gross to even imagine, right? Yes, and basically it will be leading to some bleeding also, internal bleeding. And when we bleed, what is going to happen? Our RBC and everything count is going to get less. So that is why we say that anemia is happening. Anemia is basically meaning you have loss of blood out there. And apart from that, there will be muscular pain or muscle pain as well, and fever. Fever is something very common, because if at all you're infected with something, you'll definitely have fever. So if at all you see the term that is intestinal blockage, just think about the roundworm and the gross thing that they do. Okay, so it is Escherichiasis where this happens. Now, how it is going to be transmitted? Again, eggs excreted in the feces contaminates the soil, water and the plants. Infection spread through contaminated water, vegetables and the fruits. So basically, contaminated water and the fruits, just like typhoid. So what is going to happen? Over here, in this particular case, this particular guy affects our body. Now, in our intestine, it is living, right? In our intestine, it is going to lay the egg. Now, when we go for fecus, okay, that is number 2. So what happens is that in the fecus, there will be eggs of this particular organism. And suppose this fecus is being mixed with some water out there or some plants out there. Basically, the eggs are now on these plants as well as in the water. Now, suppose we drink the water without boiling it, we have the egg now. We are taking in the egg inside. These eggs are microscopic, we cannot clearly see it, okay? So they are taken inside our body, and in our body, again, they are going to grow up there. Similarly, if at all we are not washing the plant products properly out there or fruits properly, on the top of it, you would be having this contaminated eggs. And when we intake it, it goes into our body and again grows bigger. That is how it happens. So this is also spread through contaminated food as well as water. I hope this is clear. Amoebiasis will also spread like that, and housefly is just acting like a carrier. At times, housefly also can carry it and bring to you. That was the only thing about amoebiasis. I hope this is clear. This is Escherichiasis, and please remember it causes intestinal blockage. This is the first helminthic disease. Now, the second helminthic disease that you have is what? Elephantiasis, or you also call it as filariasis. Okay, filariasis. So why does this person has a very big lower limb out there? The reason is that, you know, in our body there are cells, right? And in between these cells, your capillaries runs through them. In between through them, you have your capillaries. They are the most smallest blood vessels out there. And since they are the smallest ones, what is usually happening is that some amount of fluid is going to seep out of these capillaries. Okay, they are going to seep out of this capillary since they are very thin walled. And what happens to this fluid? This fluid is going to be collected over here in between the cells. So there is another system for collecting this fluid out there. And what do you call that system as? You might have heard about it. It is known as lymphatic system. It is known as lymphatic system. And what do? They collect all this fluid out there and give it back to the major bloodstream, that is the vein. That is how things go. So this lymphatic system is responsible for drainage of this extra fluid in between the cells. Now suppose this particular worm, again filarial worm, which you call as Wuchereria bancrofti or Wuchereria malai, either of them, my dear children, suppose it affects our lymphatic vessels out there. Do you think if they are in between our lymphatic vessel, do you think the lymphatic vessel will be able to drain the extra fluid? No, Baba. They are not going to do it. And if the fluid is not being drained, it is going to be accumulated right out there. And if it is going to be accumulated, what is going to happen? Basically, it leads to inflammation. And that is exactly happening over here. So we have lymphatic vessels throughout our body, and mostly this is going to affect your lymphatic vessels of the lower area. So which is why you would be having gross deformities. There will be deformation happening, different structural changes happening out there, and mostly it is going to affect your genital area also. And this disease is known as elephantiasis. Now, one very important thing that most of us forget is that how is this disease being spread? This is not spread by food, water, nothing. It is spread by the bite of a mosquito. Bite of a mosquito. The name of the mosquito is not been mentioned in your NCERT, but they have told you that bite of the mosquito is something that spreads the disease. What is that mosquito's name? It is Culex mosquito. Just know it. Just know it. That is Culex mosquito, and it is a vector-borne disease. It is caused by this particular organism. As in, it's not caused, it's basically transferred by this particular organism. What is it transferring? It is transferring Wuchereria bancroti or Wuchereria malai. This is the actual problem. This is the carrier. Mosquito is going to be a carrier. Okay, so disease is known as elephantiasis because you have elephant-like legs out there, or limbs out there, and symptoms are chronic inflammation, okay, chronic level of inflammation, swollen lower limbs, genital deformities as well. Genital regions will also get deformed. Site of infection is lymphatic vessels. Now this thing you should never forget. Lymphatic vessels associates with elephantiasis or filariasis, and is caused by these guys out there. Okay, mode of transmission spread by the female mosquito bite. Males do not take up our blood. I hope you guys know that. Males are going to just have plant sap. Females are the one that needs blood for the reproduction process to happen smoothly. Now progression, worms live for years causing gradual swelling and deformities in our body. Until this particular point, is it clear? Is filariasis, until filariasis, everything cleared? These are the two helminthic diseases. One causes intestinal blockage, ascariasis. One causes lymphatic vessel blockage, and that is filariasis. If it is clear, can you just quickly give me a thumbs up? It will be really, really helpful for me to understand whether you are understanding the concepts. Can you guys give me a thumbs up if it's clear? So I think it's coming up a bit late, which is why I have to wait. Dhanashri, Chandrika, yes. Purvi, can you explain malaria once? I have explained once. Okay, I can explain it to you once more. Not a problem. Just give me a second, okay? Let me see if at all the question is there. Okay. Okay, we'll do one thing. We'll complete the ringworm disease also, because that's the last type of disease, and then we'll come back to malaria. Okay, Purvi? Works? Okay. Or if you can, if you have missed that because you were not there, can you just go back and check it? It's a very long topic. And if it does not work, I can help you. Anyways, okay. So we have the last type of disease, and that is the fungal disease, and the example for this is ringworm. Okay, ringworm. Now listen to me very carefully. Ringworm sounds like a worm, but it's not a worm. Why this fungal disease named like ringworm? Because the people who have it, they have like a worm-like thing, and basically it's round in shape. That is why you call this as ringworm. It is ring structured thing out there. Okay. Now over here, the pathogen that you are having, the problematic person that you are having over here is what? Microsporum, trichophyton, and epidermophyton. So three group of fungi is there. Microsporum, trichophyton, and epidermophyton. So trichophyton and epidermophyton, they are fighting, you can remember like that. And microsporum is a small spore that is there. So how it is the fungal disease being caused? Fungal disease are going to be caused if at all you are using the same towel, if you are using basically the same comb out there. That is how the fungal diseases are going to be transmitted. And over here, the normal thing that you can clearly see up is that there will be dry scaly lesions on the skin, the nails, and the scalp also. So all of this is nothing but the the symptoms of the fungal disease. The favorable conditions, where do you think the fungus grow? Fungus is going to grow in area where it is too much moist, where there is heat. So suppose my teacher, in between our fingers, okay, it's not an area where you get too much amount of air, right? So this is an area where you can easily have fungal growth out there. Similarly, in your groin region, groin means, for example, this is your leg region out there. Here, at this particular areas also, there will be high amount of moisture, which is why it can be growing up there also. And mode of transmission, as I already told you, contact with infected soil or any towels or clothes and combs also. So soil is something that children usually forget, but yes, this you have to remember. Okay, cool, works. Now, okay, so Vani is asking me a question, ma'am, how is dengue caused? Dengue is caused because of a virus, and this virus is transmitted by a vector that is known as Aedes mosquito. Okay, so over here, listen to me carefully. Vector-borne diseases which are there, they have to be prevented. And what are the steps that you have? The steps is that basically all the vectors, suppose it is a mosquito will be laying egg in the water. So if at all you prevent water stagnation, if at all you do not allow water to be staying at one place, it can prevent that. Yeah. Second thing, clean the coolers regularly, because coolers are also a place where you put water, and this water is stagnant water. Again, mosquito can lay its egg out there. Use mosquito nets and wire mesh. The fourth one is introduce Gambusia fish. Now this is super important. Gambusia fish which is there, it is something that feeds on the mosquito larvae. It eats the mosquito larvae, which is why again that can be super helpful for them. Now spray insecticides in the breeding areas. Wherever you see that they are breeding, put the insecticides. These are the way where you can control what? Vector. Now as I told you, there are few diseases which has vector for transmission. One is malaria, where we saw the female Anopheles mosquito is the girl that causes problem out there, not the girl, basically, yeah. Anyways, filariasis, you have the female Culex mosquito that spreads the disease, and here you have dengue and chikungunya, where Aedes mosquito is something that causes the disease, or basically transfers the disease. Here all of them, they are not causative agents, they are something that are vectors, they are transferring things out there. Okay, now Ria is saying, ma'am, tomorrow I have my practical of bio. Dear, do not be worried, I have made videos, please go and watch those videos. 2 of them are missed, rest everything is done. So everything which is difficult for you, I have covered it up, watch it up. Okay, Ria? Yes. So, yeah. So now since we are going to get ahead into the questions, before that I'll just explain malaria to Purvi. Purvi, I hope you are here, dear. So I'll quickly explain malaria. And yes, guys, if at all you can tell me at that particular point itself, you're not able to understand, okay? So it will be easier for everyone else. Yeah, fine. So malaria, my dear children, it is spread by Plasmodium. You have 3 forms of Plasmodium: Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium falciparum, and Plasmodium malariae. Out of that, Plasmodium falciparum is something which is causing malignant form of malaria. If you are having that form of, if Plasmodium falciparum is causing a disease, there are chances that you might even die, right? Now over here, how does it spread? So basically, inside the Anopheles mosquito, this parasite is already there, as in it has got the parasite from some person out there, right? And it is in the stage of sporozoite. And in the Anopheles mosquito's salivary gland, this particular Plasmodium is in the stage of sporozoite. Now once it goes and bites a human being, what happens is that it gives off some amount of saliva into the human beings. It passes on some amount of saliva. Why? Because the saliva has anti-clotting enzymes, such that there is no clotting of blood, and the mosquito can easily drink up the blood. So while it passes down the saliva, it also passes the sporozoite. And now the sporozoite is inside the human body. This is the first stage. Infected stage is what? Sporozoite stage. Now it infects the human body, it goes to the liver. In the liver, it gets into the liver cells, that is hepatocytes, continuously divide out there. Okay, continuously divide out there. And basically, when they are going to undergo asexual reproduction inside the liver cells, one day the liver cells is going to blast open, and all the stages are going to be moving out into the blood. So asexual reproduction happens in the hepatocytes first, then now all of it is transferred into the blood. Inside the blood, they go and target the RBC. Now inside the RBC also, they come inside and undergo what? Asexual reproduction once more. And apart from asexual reproduction, basically over here, they are going to feed on hemoglobin, which is there in the RBC, that transfers the oxygen, right? This hemoglobin which is out there, they break this hemoglobin into heme and globin. Heme and globin. And heme is kind of very toxic for them, which is why they convert the heme to something that is less toxic, and that is hemozoin. So hemozoin is not toxic for the, what do you call, the Plasmodium out there. So hemozoin and the Plasmodium stays inside the RBC for some time. The Plasmodium is regularly undergoing asexual reproduction. It is converting into the next stage, that is known as gametocyte stage. What stage? Gametocyte stage. And one day the RBC is going to burst open. When it bursts open, gametocytes are going to be released into the blood. Apart from that, the hemozoin which is there, it is also going to be released into the blood. Now, hemozoin which is there in the blood causes severe problem to us. Why? Because hemozoin is toxic to human body. That is why we get fevers and chills. What about gametocytes? What do? They're just there in the blood. Now, suppose a mosquito comes and takes up our blood. They take up the gametocytes. These gametocytes have the potential to form what? Gametes. But do they form gametes in our body? No. No sexual reproduction are going to happen in our body. The gametocytes are taken up by the mosquito. Inside their gut, the gametocytes are going to form the gametes. They are going to undergo sexual reproduction out there and form a stage, then transfer into other stage, and basically from the gut of the mosquito it comes to the salivary gland of the mosquito and stays there in the stage that is sporozoite stage. And again the thing goes on. Okay? So this is how things are going to be happening in the case of malaria. I hope now it is clear, Purvi. Hayyo. Yes. So we were here. Please try to solve this question, everyone. Which of the following vector-borne diseases caused by Aedes mosquito? Which of the following vector-borne diseases are caused by Aedes mosquito? Ascariasis and filariasis, malaria and sleeping sickness, dengue and chikungunya, Kala Azar and filariasis. What do you think is the answer for this question? Purvi, you are most welcome, dear. I hope you had understood it though. Dhanashree says the answer for this question is C. What is C? Dengue and chikungunya. So vector-borne disease, ascariasis, filariasis, no. Malaria, sleeping sickness, no. Dengue and chikungunya, Baba, they are caused by what? Aedes mosquito. Here, malaria is caused by vector, but sleeping sickness is not caused by any vector. It's not a vector-borne disease. Ascariasis is not caused by the transfer of any but it is not caused, or basically there is no vector who helps in the ascariasis to happen, whereas in filariasis, yes, you need a vector. Again, in Kala Azar, you do not need a vector. In filariasis, you need a vector. So the only answer where both of them are simple, easy, it is C. Somehow I am not able to breathe nowadays. Okay. So the next question is this, Chandrika, you also gave me the correct answer. Purvi also, awesome. Next question, find out the correct match. Disease is there, pathogen is there, main affected organ is also there. So now you should be able to do it since we have already discussed about all the diseases out there, right? So you will be able to do it. Try it out. Correct match, you have to find the correct match. Everyone, I'm just waiting for you guys. So you have to see the disease, the pathogen and the main affected organ should be in line. Okay? What do you think is the answer for this question? Without referring to any notes out there, you should be able to answer this, okay? Go on, trust me, rely on your memory. Chandrika says the answer for this question is D, okay? D is what? Ringworm. So ringworm is a fungus and it affects our skin. Okay. Purvi also says the answer is D. Is it D? Yes, it is definitely D. Why the other options are wrong? Let's see. So typhoid is definitely caused by a bacteria but does not affect your lungs, it affects your small intestine. Filariasis is not caused by common roundworm. Filariasis is caused by Vicariaria bancroftia, Vicariaria malai, and it affects your lymphatic vessels. So both of these things are wrong. Dysentery is caused by protozoa. Dysentery, normal dysentery, it is caused by what? It is going to be caused by the bacteria out there. But if at all you're talking about amoebic dysentery, okay, protozoa, but does not affect your liver, it affects your large intestine. So which is why your answer for this question is going to be D. Ta-da-ta-ta. Okay? Okay, so let's go ahead. And I see Silini is there. Silini Sheikh is also there. Hi, good evening. Sorry, good afternoon. Yes. So my dear children, you got a PU2 question out of this also. That is, it came in MQP1. Name the causative organism of the following diseases. Everyone, can you try to find the answer for this? Filariasis is caused by what? Ringworm is caused by what? Malaria is caused by what? Everyone, I want you guys to do it. Rehan Gaming, hello dear. Bhai the Destroyer, oh my god, that is a terrific name. Okay, ma'am, we'll get this video afterwards. Watching live is consuming so much data, so we'll get recorded afterwards. Yes dear, these live lectures are going to be there itself, you can watch it, but again watching it also would require data because it is going to be long, right? So it's always better to watch with me, solve the questions with me, that would be a lot better. But yes, if you think you do not have much data now, then yeah, you can watch the recorded one. Yeah, guys, I'm waiting for your answer for this. Okay, everyone, without cheating, without looking into your notes, tell me the answer. Filariasis is caused by what? Ringworm is caused by what? And malaria is caused by what? You can expect one question coming from the diseases part anyways this time. Whenever I say in model question paper some question has come, that means that you will find a related concept in your PU2 boards also. The same question was not going to repeat anyways. Come on guys, come on, come on, come on. Okay, Purvi says Wuchereria malai and Wuchereria bancrofti. Okay, perfect. That is the first one. Filariasis is caused by Wuchereria malai and Wuchereria bancrofti. Correct. Second one, Silani Sheikh is saying ringworm is caused by trichophyton. Okay, ringworm disease is a fungal disease. Is caused by trichophyton, epidermophyton, and microsporum. Okay, and malaria is caused by what? Malaria is caused by Plasmodium vivax and Plasmodium falciparum and Plasmodium malariae. 3 of them. So Dhanashri also say Wuchereria bancrofti. Awesome, 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 awesome. Everyone. So that means you guys have got the hang of it, right? So here I have written the answer, and also please always note the first letter should be in capital, genus name should be in capital, species name should be in small letters. Okay, whenever you write it. And trichophyton, apart from that, you have epidermophyton. I'm writing that also. Please do not take the risk, write all the names that you know. And you have microsporum. Microsporum. Okay, Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium malariae also. Awesome. So I think Purvi, Sailani, Dhanashri and Chandrika, all of you are super good. Awesome, 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 awesome. So proud of you. So yes, this is a list of the diseases which are out there. You can just go through it. I just made it for you. When you get the PDF, you will get this also. Told ma'am, it's easy. Yes, exactly. Awesome. Now, with immunization, smallpox was completely eradicated. So this is also given in the NCERT, that please understand, if at all you are asked, what is that disease that was completely eradicated, swept off, okay, after immunization process? And that is what? Smallpox. Smallpox is something that is completely eradicated. Infectious diseases like polio, diphtheria, pneumonia and tetanus have been controlled to some extent by vaccines. Remember that also. So this time we can see a very, very different trend that is being followed. Each and every part of your NCERT is being asked in PU2 also. So be very sure about this. Okay, let's go ahead then. Fine. So now we have concept number 2. Concept number 1 was infectious diseases. I hope it's super clear. Everyone who feels that it is clear to you and I can possibly go ahead, can you just give me a quick thumbs up? Oh, okay, Sailani check. Yes. So I'm so sorry because I do not know how to pronounce it. Okay, if at all you were there in front of me, I could have asked you. Yes. So children, first concept is clear. Can I go ahead to the second concept, that is innate and acquired immunity? If at all I can go ahead, just give me a quick thumbs up. Okay, let's go. So listen to me. There are 2 types of immunity. Okay, thank you Chandrika. There are 2 types of immunity in our body. One is innate and one is acquired. Innate means that is something that is there with us from our birth. Acquired means that is something that we acquire it during our lifetime. For example, thank you Purvi. For example, the moment I was born, I cried because I had tears. Your tears is the first line of defense, my dear children. Do you know that in your tears you have an enzyme, that is lysozyme? And this lysozyme has the potential to kill down the bacteria out there. So This was there with me from my birth, But do you think it is specific to something, that is tears, the lysosomes which are there, they're going to kill only these type of organisms or not these type of organisms? Is it like that? No. It is non-specific. Similarly, when I was born with skin, right? And the skin will not allow viruses to enter, will stop bacteria. Is it like that? No. It is also non-specific. So always remember the immunity that I had with me from my birth, it is known as innate immunity, and it is non-specific type of defense. Okay, and you have 4 type of barriers which you need to remember right now. Thank you, Dhanashree, and thank you, Salini. Okay, so 4 type of barriers are physical barrier, physiological barrier, cellular barrier, and cytokine barrier. What do you mean by physical barrier? Physical barrier means it is going to act like a straight shield. For example, your skin. Your skin prevents microbial entry. Similarly, the mucus which is there, you have so much mucus in your body, my dear children, and this mucus basically traps all the organisms, does not allow anything to move around easily, right? So these comes under physical barriers out there. Now we have physiological barriers. Whenever you talk about any secretion out there happening in your body, for example, as I said, tears are secretions. Okay, saliva is secretion. Stomach's acid, your HCl which is produced in your stomach, that is also a secretion. All of it, my dear children, has a common thing to perform, and that is do not allow any microbes to grow. Your tears have the enzyme that is lysozyme, that does not allow the bacteria anything to grow. Similarly, saliva also have lysozyme, and that's why we say that if at all someone has pimple, we put the saliva. Why? It's because of this. But it's not, what do you say, it should not be followed now. Why? Because people are not too much hygienic. Your fingers can be bad, that can lot be happening out there, which is why it's not preferred. But please know that they have definitely are useful because they have lysozyme in them. Now stomach acid, HCl, is also super important. It also acts like a physiological barrier. Now this barrier question has come so many times in your PU2, so this is super important. Explain the types of barriers of innate immunity. Third one barrier is cellular barrier. Cellular barriers as in cell which are there. Okay, cell which are there from our birth. And what are those cells? The first one is polymorphonuclear leukocytes. Polymorphonuclear leukocytes. Leukocytes means white blood cells. And over here, their nucleus is like this. They have multiple lobes out there. That is why it is known as polymorpho. They have different morphology out there. Okay, so polymorphonuclear leukocytes, which is PMNL, the actual name for this is neutrophils. Neutrophils. They are coming under cellular barriers. These cells are there with us from our birth. And what do? They are phagocytes. What do you mean by phagocytes? Phagocytes means, for example, over here I have some bacteria out there, some organism out there. These cells which are there, they take these things inside the cell altogether. They do phagocytosis and they kill it up. Okay, so neutrophil is one such cell. Apart from that, you also have monocytes. Monocytes are also phagocytic in nature, but it depends like who comes first to help us. So neutrophil comes first, then comes monocytes. Okay, then comes monocyte. And you might have already heard about macrophages also, so do not be worried. These monocytes that we are talking about, right? These monocytes are the ones that later develop into macrophages. So they also have the same function, that is to do what? Phagocytosis of things. Apart from that, in your NCERT, one more thing is given, and that is what? Natural killer cells. So natural killer cells are also there, which acts like cellular barriers. They also go around, kill the other cells out there which are infected with viruses and things like that. Okay, so 3 cells name: polymorphonuclear leukocytes, which you also call as neutrophils. Apart from that, macrophages. Macrophages develop from monocytes itself. And apart from that, you have natural killer cells. They come under what? Cellular barriers. They come under cellular barriers. Okay, now let's go ahead with cytokine barriers. This is very, very important because you get an MCQ question straight from this. Okay, you get an MCQ question straight from this in your PU2 as well as your KCET. Listen to me. So basically, suppose there is a cell that is infected by virus. So this is the virus and this is the cell that is infected by the virus out there. What does the cell release? Does the cell release anything? Yes, Papa. It releases some very important things which you call as interferons. interferons, and these interferons goes and tells the other cell that, hey, there had been a virus attack, you have to be really careful. Okay, so here over here at this particular point of time, you have what? Interferons, which are telling other cells to be what? To be careful of what? Virus. So this question is asked like that: what is being released by the virus infected cells to protect the healthy cells? So you should know the answer for this question is what? Interferons. Now you are going to see two type of interferons. Here you will be seeing interferons. When you study about cancer, you are going to study about another type of interferon, that is alpha interferons. Okay, so this interferon and alpha interferon, do not mix that up, keep it separate only. So they come under cytokine barriers, as in the things which are released by cells are known as cytokine. So basically interferon is something that is going to act like a cytokine over here, because it is also infected, it is also released by a virus infected cell. I hope innate immunity is totally clear. For innate immunity, these are the 4 barriers, please remember it. 4 of them are equally important. Yeah, take example of amoeba. Amoeba, yes, it does phagocytosis. You might have seen amoeba. Amoeba takes in the food inside it with the help of pseudopodia, right? That process is known as phagocytosis. Similarly, PMNL and macrophages also does that. Cool. Now, let's go ahead with the next type of immunity, that is acquired immunity. Now, as I said, innate is there with us from our birth, but acquired is not like that. Acquired is something that we are acquiring throughout our lifetime. So whenever, suppose over here I have Papu. Okay, so I have Papu right over here, and Papu, my dear children, is infected by some disease out there for the very first time. When Papu is infected with some with a disease for the very first time, what is going to happen? Papu is going to react against it. This response which is there, it is known as primary response. First response which is there. And the primary response, always remember, it is going to be a very slow response, because our body actually does not know what is happening. For the first time, it is seeing the thing that is causing a trouble inside our body, right? What do you call these things that causes troubles to us? You call these things as antigens. Antigens. These are the foreign particles that causes trouble to us, right? So the first response is going to be very slow response. Then the second time, my dear children, the second time the same thing comes up into our body, what is going to happen? There is going to be a secondary response, and this is going to be super good, such that this particular antigen is not left behind, it is being killed. Why do you think the secondary response is more better? Is much better? The reason is that here, in the first encounter, my dear children, our body start making some very important things. And here comes the role of what? Your, acquired immunity. So listen to me. Acquired immunity can be divided into two types. One is humoral and the other one is cell-mediated. Humoral and cell-mediated. In humoral, in your body, one type of cell becomes very active, and that is your B lymphocytes. B lymphocytes, whenever they see the antigen right over there, they are going to release antigen-specific antibody against it. What are they going to release? They are going to release some antibodies against the specific antigen out there. Apart from that, they are also going to have some memory cells being formed. Memory cells, what memory do they have? That this type of antigen came into the picture and basically I release these antibodies. So this is the memory that is being created right out there. So next time the same antigen comes into our body, what is going to happen? Our body know what is the exact antibody which has to be released, which is why I said that primary response at that particular time, it is not sure what antibodies has to be released. But the secondary response, since there are memory cells being formed, it knows that, okay, this antigen has come inside our body once and I had made these antibodies, I can just fight off easily. That is why secondary response is much more faster. Okay, so there is humoral immunity. Why do I call it humoral immunity? Because this B lymphocytes, they are nothing but the type of WBCs, okay, white blood cells. One type of WBCs are B lymphocytes. These B lymphocytes roam inside our blood, and blood is nothing but a fluid. And the other name for that is humor. Okay, other name for fluid is what? Humor. So since this is there in our blood, the antibodies are released in our blood, we'll say it is humoral immunity. Apart from that, I told you there is cell-mediated immunity. So what exactly happens in cell-mediated immunity? Here T lymphocytes play a very important role. T lymphocytes, and T lymphocytes again, they directly go and kill up anything that is going to be affecting our body. For example, an antigen is there. It can directly go and take in this antigen and kill it up. Okay, there are different types of T lymphocytes. There is T cytotoxic lymphocytes, which directly goes and kills like that. There is T helper lymphocytes, okay, T helper lymphocytes, which basically tells the other cells to release this and that and everything. It's like a mediator out there. So you have multiple type of T lymphocytes, and basically they are going to tell the other cells what they have to do, and also sometimes directly go and kill the cells, which is why we say that they provide cell-mediated immunity. So two type of immunity is found in acquired. Okay, this is something that we are acquiring to our lifetime. Why are we acquiring? Because when we are infected with something, that's when all of this is going to be produced up. Okay, got it? Now, one very important thing, whenever someone gets, suppose Pappu's kidney is not working properly and Pappu had organ transplantation surgery. When organ transplantation is being done, our body reacts to it. Some people do not take up the organ. Why? Because our body feels that this is something foreign, which is why it reacts to it. So which is that group of cells that is responsible for graft rejection? For rejecting this graft, it is T lymphocyte. Always remember, for graft rejection, it is T lymphocyte which is the culprit, or basically cell-mediated immunity which is going to be the culprit. Remember that also. Okay. Now, under antibodies, we studied only B lymphocytes produce antibodies, right? And antibodies are how many types? Antibodies are of 5 types. So you can remember like this. G-A-M-E-D, gamed. It is what? G-A-M-E-D. Okay, over here, G is the first antibody to be transferred from the mother to the child. Through what? Through the placenta. Through the placenta. A is the second antibody that is being transferred from the mother to the child. Through what? Through the milk. The first milk out there, which is known as colostrum. The function of M and D is not being mentioned in your NCERT, so you can ignore it as of now, but know that it's there. What about E? Antibody E is specially released when you have allergy. So allergy, antibody E, we can remember like that. Basically, it is being produced during allergy. These few things also you need to remember. Got it? So humoral, cell-mediated immunity, gamed. If at all you want to take a screenshot of this, you can, because you are not going to get it in notes. I have added up a new page out there. That's why. Got it? Thank you, Salini. So over here, I'll just move behind. So what do we have? Primary response, first exposure, it is going to be low in intensity. Secondary, or you also call it as anamnestic response, it is going to be stronger. And why is it stronger? Because there is memory cells being involved. Now lymphocytes being involved, you have B and T lymphocytes. B lymphocytes produce antibodies, IgA. What is Ig? Ig means immunoglobulin. Ig stands for immunoglobulin. So this is nothing but a protein, Baba. Okay, this antibodies that you see are nothing but proteins. So IgA, IgE, all of them are proteins. Now humoral immunity, because these antibodies are found in the blood, and blood is a humor, or basically blood is what? Blood is a fluid. Now T lymphocytes help B cells, cell-mediated immunity, helps in cell-mediated immunity, not just helping B cells but helps the other cells also. Now antibody structure, before I go into that, let's see this. Organ transplant and immune response, tissue and blood group matching needed to prevent rejection, but CMI, that is cell-mediated immunity, or T lymphocytes, are the one that rejects the graft out there. I already discussed about this, which is why you need to take some immunosuppressants, such that your immune system is suppressed a bit. Okay, now coming to this very important thing, that is the structure of antibody. Again, PU2, this diagram is super important. Over here, if at all you see the structure of antibody, you have 2 heavy chains. This is one heavy chain, and this is going to be the next heavy chain. Apart from that, you are going to have 2 light chains as well. 2 light chains and 2 heavy chains. 2 heavy chains are there, which is why I call it H2, and 2 light chains are there, which is why I call it L2. Okay, now between this heavy chains, I have multiple sulfide bonds out there, multiple of them. But between heavy and light chain, I just have one. Now over here, you need to remember one more very important thing. This is the basic structure for all the antibody molecules out there. Okay, but you know, all the antibodies are different, are produced differently, in terms of different antigens which are coming inside our body. So which is why this area of all antibody is going to be different. You call this area as variable region. What do you call this? Variable region. This is going to vary in each of the antibodies. Okay, and this is the area where the antigen is going to come and bind. So antigen binding site is this. Always remember that. Okay, that's all. That is something that you need to remember. And now with that, let's try to solve this KCET question that came in the year 2016. Identify the incorrect statement from the following. B cells produces antibody, interferon kill viruses, response of T cell is called cell-mediated immunity, and macrophages are the phagocytic cells. What is the answer for this question? Come on, everyone. I'm waiting for your answers. Come on, children, go for it. And please do not be worried even if you get things wrong. Listen, I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to teach you, right? And it's totally fine to get things wrong. It's just that you will understand things a lot better. So no one is there to judge you. Go ahead and give me the answer. Dhanashri is saying the answer for this question is B. Okay. Identify the incorrect state. B cells produced antibodies. B cells produce antibodies, that is correct. Interferons kills the viruses. Yeah, this is not correct, right? You have asked what is incorrect. Interferons do not kill viruses. Interferons are produced by virus-infected cells, and they just signal other cells to be aware of the viruses. That's all, right? They do not kill it. So this particular statement is correct. Dhanashri, awesome. I see Dhanashri is being very consistent and told the answer also first. Awesome. Also, what about others? Core surface says the answer for this question is B. Yes, dear. Correct. Core to surface. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Core to surface. So sorry. Okay. Response of T cells is called cell-mediated immunity. Baba, yes. Macrophages are phagocytic cells. Also, yes. So your only answer for this question is B. Cool. And here you have got a PU2 question in model question paper 1. Remember saying something like this: differentiate between innate and acquired immunity. Mention the cells involved in accomplishing the acquired immunity. What are the cells? B and T lymphocytes. Refer to the given diagram and tell what is what. What is A and B? This is antigen binding site, right? And what does H2L2 mean? It is heavy chain and 2 light chain. So now we are able to decode everything. Okay, so over here I have given you the detailed answer. You can go check it out as well. Now let's go ahead with concept number 3. I hope concept number 2 was super clear to everyone. If yes, can you just give me a thumbs up? If it was super clear, can you just give me a quick thumbs up? Sileni? B, yes. Okay. Active and passive immunity. This is something that I love so much. Okay, because this is easy. And this gives you easy marks. And this usually comes up. So let's go ahead. By the time you guys give me a thumbs up, I think I'll proceed. Hi Shabina, hello. Okay, thank you Purvi and thank you Dhanashri, everyone. Let's go ahead then. So active and passive immunity is super simple. Just listen to me carefully, okay? When your own body is going to produce some antibodies, we say your body is actively participating in immunity. This is active immunity. When it is going to be active? Listen, suppose you have an infection. Whenever you have an infection, your body is going to react to it. Your body is going to produce antibodies to it, right? So at this time we say it is actively participating. This is active immunity. Suppose if not infection, if someone is giving you vaccines, what is vaccine? Vaccine is nothing but the weak form of some antigen, of some pathogen out there, weak form. It cannot cause any trouble to us. We are just giving this weak form to our body. Why? So that our body understands that something like this can come up later on and you have to produce these type of antibodies. So to give a primary response, we are given vaccination. At this time also, You are not given antibodies, you are given antigens. Your body reacts to it and produce antibodies. Again, an example of active immunity. On the other hand, if at all you think that basically baby is there, okay, mother is there, mother gives baby the milk and through the milk passes some antibodies. What are these antibodies? Ready-made antibodies. Is the baby producing antibody and protecting itself? No, Baba. So we say our body is not actively participating, rather it is passive immunity which has been happening out there. Okay, it is passive form of immunity out there. Get it? So this is super important for you to know. So active immunity is developed when the body produces its own antibodies triggered by exposure to antigens as in natural infection, or maybe when someone gets vaccination. Okay, in vaccination also you are given weakened pathogens. At this point also you are waiting for your body to produce antibodies. Fine. Here you need to understand one very important thing. Since you are relying on your body to produce antibodies, it is going to be very slow. There is going to be a very slow response. But on the other hand, it will be having a long-lasting effect. Why? Because these antibodies now are being produced, memory cells are also being produced. Next time, if at all you have a similar infection out there, your body will quickly react to it. So, slow response is there, but basically it will be more long-lasting. What about passive immunity? Over here, as I said, ready-made antibodies are given to the body. It provides what? It's not a slow response. It provides immediate protection. But my dear children, this protection will be short term. It is going to be of very short duration. Example, as I told you, colostrum from the mother's milk, which is rich in IgA. IgA, A for Amma. You can remember A for Amma. Okay, you are getting IgA directly. Okay, placenta, through the placenta you are getting IgG directly. Now my dear children, suppose, let's come to this conclusion. Okay, let's come to this particular thing, that is, suppose some snake bit me. Okay, some snake bit me. At this particular point of time, Purvi, Dhanashri and Kotusor, everyone, they took me, Sileni also took me to the hospital. Now will the doctor say that wait, Jasmine ma'am's body will produce antibodies by itself. You just wait for that. Will the doctor say like that? No, Baba. Rather, what is going to happen? The doctor is going to give me injection. What is this injection? This injection is nothing but the ready-made antibodies against the snake venom. Because we want a faster response as of now. We want to save Jasmine, right? Which is why we are giving ready-made antibodies in the form of injection. And that is exactly what you find in snake bite injections, tetanus injection. All these things have ready-made antibodies given to you because you want a faster reaction to happen. So it's used for emergency protection such as snake anti-venom. So this is passive immunity. So if at all you understood active and passive immunity, Baba, you will be able to understand vaccination and immunization also. Vaccination is nothing but a form where you can clearly see active immunity. As I said, you are basically, what are you giving in vaccination? In coronavirus, lots of people were given vaccines of coronavirus. What were they containing? They were containing the spike proteins which were there on the surface of the coronavirus, or basically some things related to that only. Why? Because we wanted to make our body aware that something like this can come in. You have to produce antibodies against it now itself, so that when actual infection come, you can be safe. So it contains antigenic proteins or weakened or inactive pathogens. Okay, it triggers antibody production for future protection. Memory B cells and memory T cells enable faster response on re-exposure. So when someone gets re-exposed to it, you'll get a faster response to it as well. This is vaccination. What is immunization? Immunization is nothing but it is also known as passive immunization, where again you are giving ready-made antibodies. Example is what? Tetanus antitoxin. In tetanus antitoxin, you are having ready-made antibodies against tetanus, which is a bacteria, and snake bite antivenom also, my dear children, will be having what? Ready-made antibodies against the snake bite. Got it? So that is how it works. Now in your NCERT, one more line is given, and that line is important because you get questions related to this. What is that line? Using recombinant DNA technology, hepatitis B vaccine was being made. And you know what? This hepatitis B vaccine was made with the help of what organism? It was made with the help of yeast. So please remember that. With the help of yeast, you made hepatitis B vaccine. So this also came. Cool? So over here, I have a question for you guys. Please try to solve this. The principle of vaccination is based on which property of immune system? Memory, specificity, diversity, or plasticity? The principle of vaccination is based on what? Okay, Vinod, ma'am, what would you suggest studying from this Zero to Hero series or from Brahmastra? Okay, so I'll tell you something honestly. So Zero to Hero series, we would be covering only the high weightage chapters, right? And if at all you are someone who was wanting to cover the KCET and PU2 together, this is definitely helpful for you. But remember, we are covering only the high weightage chapters. Brahmastra is only going to be about PU2. We have already covered all the chapters. I think few are left to be uploaded. But Brahmastra can be watched if at all you want to see chapter-wise questions. So for example, one chapter is done, you can go watch Brahmastra. All the PU2 repeated questions have been covered up there. Okay, KCET questions will not be covered in Brahmastra. You need to understand that. That's for PU2 PYQs. Clear? So if at all you are someone who is preparing for KCET, and as well as PU2, I'll recommend you to follow Master Stroke, because Zero to Hero will soon end. Okay, soon end, because your high weightage chapters are going to be covered up, right? So Master Stroke, in that also we are covering all the chapters. One shots will be given. You can watch the one shot, that will be helpful for your PU2 and KCET. You can solve the questions of KCET during our live sessions of Master Stroke as well. And Brahmastra is already there for your PU2 questions. Okay, so Dhanashri says A, Purvi says A, Sailini says A. It is what? Memory. Yes, the property is what? Memory is what is being used such that your body remembers that something like this has happened. Next time it can be producing more amount of antibodies. Awesome. One more question is there. Injection of an antidote against snake bite is an example of. This is 2020 question. Injection of an antidote against snake bite is an example of. Even theory is covered. So PU2 questions are being covered in, okay, I'll tell you. So everyone else, please try to solve it. I'll tell you what is the difference. So PU2 Brahmastra, which is there, it contains PU2 PYQs, all the PU2 PYQs, as well as your new model question paper questions, MQPs. Okay, that is being covered. Now, Zero to Hero, this is there. As of now, it is soon going to end. Within this particular week, it is going to end. We are not going to continue it because the high weightage chapters would be done. Right? Now, what do you have? You have Master Stroke. So, Master Stroke is important for you because in Master Stroke, you get two things. One is recorded sessions and one is live session. In recorded, you are going to get one shots of the lectures of all the chapters. Now, these one shots are there. If at all you want to prepare for your PU2, after this one shots, please watch the Brahmastra series video because you will see the questions out there. If at all you are KCET champion, you want to solve KCET question, come for the live, we will be solving KCET questions. Got it? So basically Master Stroke and PU2 Brahmastra would be enough after the Zero to Hero series. Cool? Fine. So Purvi, Dhanashri, Sailini, all of you says the answer for this question is what? D, passive immunity. Yes. In the case of antidote or antivenom, you are getting passive immunity because you are getting ready-made antibodies out there. So you guys are absolutely correct. Awesome. Fine. So let's go ahead. There is one more question. Try to solve this. Now this includes everything that you have studied until now about immunity. Match the items of column 1 with those of column 2 and choose the correct option. This is 2018 question. So column 1 is given over here, column 2 is given over here. Go properly, go line by line and solve it. And everyone who is watching this video, if at all you have not clicked on the like button, click on the like button, share it with your friends and also subscribe to our channel. Yes, if you think that this is helpful for you. Okay, answers ready, not ready? Hepatitis B vaccine, we just solved it. Hepatitis B vaccine was made with the help of what? Should I tell the answer or you guys will be giving me the answer? I'm waiting for that. Come on guys, always in match the following question, go with A first and D. A and D, try to see both of them and try to solve them first. Silini says answer for this question is A. Hepatitis B vaccine, A goes with S, that is yeast. Okay. Preformed antibodies. Preformed antibodies are found in what? Against snake venom itself. Okay. Ready-made antibodies is also known as preformed antibodies. So B goes with Q. And what about C? Colostrum is, in the colostrum, what do you have? IgA. A is basically Amma, and Amma gives colostrum. That is the first milk out there. So that is also correct. PMNL, polymorphonucleoleucocytes. D goes with R. So basically that is neutrophils. So over here, yes, Salini was correct, and also Dhanashree and also Purvi, all of you are correct. Okay, perfect. Vinod, study from master stroke and then Brahmastra. Yes, that would be working well. You can do that. Purvi, awesome, awesome, awesome. So answer is A. Everyone, all of you doing really, really great. So children, I am hoping that this is helping you, right? So we are going topic by topic, and we are covering a lot of things, and by the end of this, I hope everyone will be confident with this chapter, human health and diseases. Yeah? Now the fourth concept that I have over here is allergy. After the allergy, I'll take a 2 minutes break. Okay, just to drink some water. Somehow I'm getting tired so fast nowadays, I don't know why. Okay. So concept number 4, which is allergy. Let's see what is happening up there. So usually things that cause allergy to us, for example, dust, mites, everything, they are known as what? Allergens. You call them allergens. Okay. And the common ones are dust, mites, pollen, animal dander, and everything out there. Now symptoms that you have during allergy is what? You start sneezing, there will be watery eyes, runny nose, breathing difficulty, lot of things. But why do you think all of this thing is happening at the first place? So the thing is that in our body, we have a very famous cell, and that cell is known as mast cells. Okay, mast cells, or I can write it like this, M-A-S-T. These are what? Mast cells out there. Okay, you can call them mast cells. Why? Because they are helping us in some ways. So these mast cells which are there, on the surface of it, we have our IgE antibody. Remember, allergy, IgE antibody is there. Suppose the IgE antibody came across with an allergen. What is going to happen? The signal is being sent to the mast cell, and the mast cell will be like, oh my God, what has happened? It will be releasing 2 very important things. One is known as histamine, and the second one will be known as serotonin. So histamine and serotonin is being released. What do they do? So my dear children, usually our blood vessels are like this, okay? Now they feel that some emergency situation is happening over here, which is why I need to bring so many soldiers as in WBCs and all the other cells which can fight against the allergens out there, which is why it causes vasodilation. The blood vessel which was this narrow, it will dilate it and make it this big. This is known as vasodilation. And when our blood vessels are dilated, that's when we have inflammation, my dear children. At this particular point of time, all the cells would be coming up because vasodilation has also taken place. So that is why you see inflammation also happening when someone has allergy. You might have seen the things getting popped up. It's because of inflammation that is being happening, right? So yes, histamine and serotonin is something that is being released by mast cells. So the question is that basically, just a second. Ayyo. Yes, so basically over here we need to know one very, very important thing, and that is, how will you treat allergies? You can take antihistamine. What do you need to do? Antihistamine, because this histamine is being released that causes allergy. So why not? That causes symptoms out there. That's why not take antihistamine. That is one very important thing. The second thing out there which can be used is adrenaline. This can also be used up. The third thing is steroids. So basically you need to have 3 things: antihistamines, adrenaline and steroids to treat up any allergic responses. This is also a very important thing that you need to know. You get questions in your PU2, you get questions in your KCET also on the basis of this. Got it? So do not forget this. Now over here, what do I have? Release of histamine and serotonin from the mast cells. Antibodies involved is IgE. Diagnosis is what? Small doses of allergens are tested. That is how you can diagnose it. And treatment is antihistamines, adrenaline and steroids, as I already told you, right? Now try to solve this question and then we'll take a break. A person shows symptoms like sneezing, watery eyes, running nose and difficulty in breathing on exposure to certain substances in air. Which type of antibody is produced in such condition? Rishi, I got I got 31 on 70 on PB1, I think pre-board 1, and 51 on 70. Oh my god, in PB2 I improved and I will further. That's super great, Rishi. I'm super proud of you. 51 out of 70, that's a good number. Yes, and one day you will be scoring full on full also. Awesome. Super proud of you. Santosh Shetty, thank you, dear. Okay, guys, can you try to solve this? Okay. Dhanishri says the answer for this question is B. B is what? IgE. Is it IgE? Yes. The question is kind of very simple. When does it become simple? When you guys study it, right? And as of now, you guys studied it, which is why it is simple for you. So IgE is the answer for this particular question. Okay. Now we will be going ahead with the next portion out there, and that is what? Autoimmune diseases and also lymphoid organs. So before I go into that, shall we take a 5 minutes break? Is it okay if at all we take a 5 minutes break? Everyone, if you feel it's okay, can you just give me a thumbs up? So I'll go quickly drink some water and come back. Okay, I'll take the break. So 5 minutes. Kit Kat break. Now it is 3:42. We will be meeting at 3:47. Meet at. Okay. So we'll come there. champions, everyone out there. It's correct 3:47 and I'm back. Good afternoon, Rashmi. Very good afternoon to you. Okay. I think I'll just wait for my chums to be back and we'll begin up. All of you super ready? Recharged? Good afternoon, dear. Good afternoon, Rashmi. Okay, then let's begin up. I hope everyone is soon going to come. So autoimmune disease and lymphoid organ is something that we're going to cover up now. So the break is officially over. So let's go ahead. What do you mean by autoimmune disease? So basically, my dear children, what exactly happens is that our body knows what is ours and what is not ours. As in something external comes into our body will be like, hey, you are someone from outside. You should not be inside, right? Get out. So that is how it usually works. But sometimes it does not know to differentiate between what is our own cells, and that is when it mistakenly gets ahead to attack them. And when it attacks, you call this diseases. Diseases which are caused by this, you call this as what? Autoimmune diseases. When your cells are killing your own cells by mistake. So when the body mistakenly attacks the own cells, it is known as autoimmune disease. The example that is given in your NCERT for this is rheumatoid arthritis. What is exactly happening over here? In rheumatoid arthritis, you know, in between our joints, okay, there is a fluid, that is synovial fluid. So in between the joints, there are certain cells which are being attacked, which is why we will be getting swelling and things out there in between the joints. So that is exactly happening in rheumatoid arthritis. So autoimmune disease are the ones where your own cells are being killed. Example is rheumatoid arthritis. That is the only thing that you need to know. It can be due to some genetic factors. It can be due to some unknown factors as well. Done? Clear? Fine. So now going ahead with the next and the most important thing, that is lymphoid organs. So for KCET aspect, you have not got questions from lymphoid organs, but when you talk about PU2, you have got multiple times questions on the basis of this, that what are lymphoid organs, what is primary, what is secondary, and things like that. So I'm going to explain that as of now. Ma'am, please provide me information about my Aadhaar card. It is inactive. Rashmi, make sure you go to the offices, government offices, where you can make make changes in your Aadhaar card, especially your name as well as your DOB, and that is the only thing I have in my head as of now. Rashmi, I don't think making an Aadhaar card would take much time. If at all you are someone who do not have an Aadhaar card, please make sure you make it up. Go to the offices, responsible offices. They would be doing it for you. I don't think it will be a time-taking process. Okay? You cannot enter your father's Aadhaar card instead of yours. You have to enter your own Aadhaar card detail out there. Yes? Okay, now coming back to the topic that we were doing is lymphoid organs. So listen to me, everyone out there. So lymphoid organs are the places where your lymphocytes are going to be formed. Lymphocytes are what? Lymphocytes are a type of WBCs. Okay, are a type of WBCs. Okay, so these lymphocytes are of two types. We all know that one is what? B and one is T cells. Lymphoid organs, if you say, they are also of two types. One is the primary lymphoid organs, and the second one is the secondary lymphoid organs. What is the difference that is happening up over here? The difference is pretty much simple. Listen to me. In the primary lymphoid organs, they are the places where your B and T lymphocytes are going to be produced, are going to be matured, and basically they are going to become something that is known as antigen sensitive. As in, they know that they have to attack antigens. But do they start attacking at this point itself? No. They do not start attacking the antigens in the primary lymphoid organs. Primary lymphoid organs are only for formation, for maturation, and for becoming antigen sensitive. Now, you might be thinking, what are these organs? Examples for that? You have two of them, only two. One is bone marrow, and the other one is thymus. So, you know what? Bone marrow is a place that bone marrow is something that is inside your bone cells. Okay, inside your bones you have your bone marrow. Inside your bone marrow you have red marrow, yellow marrow, different type of marrows. These red marrow which is there, it has some group of cells which is known as hematopoietic stem cells. Stem cells are something that has the ability to form any other type of cells. And over here I told you they are hematopoietic stem cells. That means they are the ones which are going to give rise to different types of blood cells. Blood cells can be RBC, blood cells can be WBC, blood cells can be platelets, right? So all of it are being formed inside your bone marrow itself. When I say WBC is being formed, you should know that B and T lymphocytes are also WBCs. That means B and T lymphocytes are going to be formed over here itself. The B lymphocytes matures also over here. What about the T lymphocytes? T lymphocytes are formed over here, but they do not attain maturity here. They go to the thymus for attaining maturity, which is why T for thymus. You can get a T lymphocytes, but T is for thymus. Okay, remember they become antigen sensitive. They do not start performing the function of what you call killing up the antigens. Now let's talk about the secondary lymphoid organs. This is where they are going to start doing dishum. They are going to kill up the cells. So what is this known as? We will say that the cells have now officially become effector cells. That means they are going to start off showing the effect. They are starting off killing the antigens out there. So they become effector cells in the secondary lymphoid organs. The examples of secondary lymphoid organs, if at all you ask, there are few, starting with the first one, that is spleen. So spleen is found just near our stomach, okay, just near our stomach, and basically it is known as graveyard of RBC. The RBC, the old and worn out RBC, they go and die up there. But anyways, so in your spleen you have blood vessels. In the blood vessels, suppose I am the antigen, I am coming. I'm coming like this, okay? And in my spleen, there will be so many B and T lymphocytes already up there. So when I come like this, I see a B T lymphocytes, I try to run away, but I would not be able to run away because they will be killing me. Why? Because I am an antigen. They are basically have become what? The effector cells also. So spleen is one such organ. Second thing that you have is lymph node. Lymph node. I already spoke about lymphatic system. You remember lymphatic system that transfers, that basically drains out the extra fluid and gives it back to the vein, right? This lymphatic system has some places like this, or basically when you say, no, there are some camps, in military camps will be there, no? Similarly, there are some camps like this. These camps are known as lymph nodes, okay? What do you call them? Lymph nodes. Here also you have T and B lymphocytes being starting up. So suppose some antigen is passing through this particular lymphatic fluid, what is going to happen? The B and the T lymphocytes are going to attack them and kill them up, which is why again I'll say this is a secondary lymphoid organs, because here also they do dishum. Okay, now going ahead, what do you have? Apart from that you have tonsils. Apart from that you have Peyer's patch. So Peyer's patch is there in our small intestine. You know what? The inner lining of our gastrointestinal tract, the whole tract which is there, you call this as mucosa layer. What do you call this layer as? Mucosa. And this mucosa layer is richly supplied with lot of different type of cells. Okay, the cells which are going to kill ones, right? So the mucosa part which is over here, which is having enough amount of lymphocytes, you call this as tonsils. Similarly, you have something in your small intestine, you call this as Peyer's patch. And this mucosa layer attached lymphoid tissue or mucosa associated lymphoid tissue, if at all you call all of it together, you call it as malt. And malt basically occupies 50% of the lymphoid organs. 50% of the lymphoid organ is malt itself. So this is all about your lymphoid organs. Okay, primary lymphoid organs, they produce, matured, and they become antigen sensitive out there. Who? B and the T lymphocytes. So B lymphocytes matures in the bone marrow itself, T lymphocytes mature in the thymus. Whereas when you talk about secondary lymphoid organs, there they become effector cells. Example is spleen, lymph nodes, tonsils, and Peyer's patch. Tonsil is found here, and Peyer's patch is found in the small intestine. Both of them are associated with the innermost lining that is known as mucosa. So they come under malt, and malt occupies 50% of your entire lymphoid tissue out there. Done. That's all. So over here, this is written. Primary lymphoid organs, development and maturation of antigen-sensitive lymphocytes happen over here. Bone marrow produces all blood cells, and B lymphocytes mature here itself. Thymus, maturation site for T lymphocytes. And also remember, thymus is over here and it shrinks with age. As we grow old, it is going to get shrunken. Now, secondary lymphoid organs, you have spleen, you have lymph nodes, you have malt. Under malt comes what? Your tonsils and Peyer's patch, and apart from that, you also have appendix. Okay, done. That's all. That's all for lymphoid organs. So here I have explained everything. Bone marrow. So the bone, inside that you have the red marrow where all the cells are being formed. After that, B lymphocytes mature there. In the thymus is right over here. In the thymus, your T lymphocytes will come and mature. And then you have lymph nodes. So these structures that you see are lymphatic vessels. And the small things that you see are lymph nodes. Okay? Got it? Fine. And that is the spleen. Dignath, ma'am, my problem has been solved. Oh, that's so great. That's so good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. So, yes. Now, I have got a question for every one of you. We can try to solve this. What are lymphoid? Okay, you do not need to solve this. This is a long question. So, what are lymphoid organs? Now, you know what are lymphoid organs. This is where the lymphocytes are going to form, mature, become antigen sensitive and also become effector cells. Write the function of the following in response to immune system: bone marrow, thymus, spleen and lymph nodes. This was model question paper model question paper question of 2024 and 25. Okay. Now, over here I have given you the answer. And now we will go to the next concept, that is concept number 5, HIV/AIDS. So everyone who was watching this video and who feels that until now everything is clear, can you just give me a quick thumbs up? It will be really helpful. And then I'll go with HIV/AIDS. After HIV we have cancer, after cancer we have drugs, and then we'll finish up the chapter. Okay? So we'll try to do as fast as possible. Fine? Concept number 5, HIV/AIDS. Everyone who is clear with all the concepts until now, just give me a thumbs up. Okay. Someone is giving hearts, so I believe it's done. Okay, fine. Let's go then. So let's talk about HIV/AIDS. So HIV stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus. Human Immunodeficiency Virus. It's a virus that is going to cause what? A disease that is known as AIDS. AIDS stands for Acquired Immunodeficiency Syndrome. Acquired as in you are acquiring it throughout your lifetime. You're not born with AIDS, right? You're acquiring it, and after that, it is making us immunodeficient. Okay, it is going to make us immunodeficient. Our everything is going to be deficient. And my dear children, also understand there will be a group of symptoms that is going to come, and that is known as syndrome. So acquired immunodeficiency syndrome stands for that. Okay? Fine. Now going ahead. Over here, it was first reported in 1981 and has since caused 25 plus million deaths globally. So obviously this is a disease which is not very small, it is very dangerous, right? And how it is going to be spread? It is spread through these many ways. First, sexual contact with an infected person. So obviously when someone is having sexual contact, you are passing down the genital fluids. And if genital fluids are being passed on, that means it's easy to basically transfer the disease, right? Because HIV/AIDS is spread through the body fluids out there. And genital fluid is one such fluid. Okay? So just a second, Sanji is asking, ma'am, in last 5 mark questions, usually questions are asked from sexual reproduction, flowering plants, molecular, but this time they have asked from biotechnology, right? I have to check it, dear. I have to check it once. I do not exactly remember like that. Yeah? I'll check it and let you know. Will that work? Okay, so over here, apart from that, there is transfusion of contaminated blood or blood products. So basically, suppose someone is having thalassemia, it's a blood disorder. In their body, the blood is not being formed enough, right? So hemoglobin is not being formed actually. So which is why they will need repeated transfusion of blood. Now, if the blood that they are taking up is not being checked properly, there are chances that it can be of someone who is having HIV. You get it? So transfusion of contaminated blood can also lead to HIV. After that, sharing infected needles. So those of the people out there who take in drugs, okay, who take in drugs, basically they use needles, and these needles are passed from one person to the other person. If at all some person have the disease, it can be transferred to the next person also, since they are using the needle out there, and this needle will come in contact with their blood vessels, and it goes on like that. Okay, now mother to child transmission is also seen, but nowadays it is what you call it is being checked. It has been checked several times. That is not happening. Why? Because you are giving some drugs. Okay, some medicines are being given in advance, is that this can be prevented. But yes, if at all it's not properly taken care of, then mother to child transmission can also happen during birth, because yes, blood exchange and everything can happen. So these are the 4 ways: sexual contact, transmission of contaminated blood, and sharing of infected needles, and there is mother to blood transmission as well. Sorry, mother to the child transmission as well. So now if we talk about high risk group, who are the high risk group? The people who have multiple partners out there, because it passes through sexual contact. Second thing, drug addicts, right? Now people who have repeated transfusion of blood, they might have this, and children born to HIV infected mothers, they can also get this particular disease. Now the important or the most important part out of this is what? How is this disease transmitted, or basically how does HIV virus attack us? And now this is where you get all your questions from. Okay, so make sure you have this part very, very clear. So first of all, when you talk about an HIV virus, it's a retrovirus. In its body, inside its cell, my dear children, not a cell, basically inside its structure, it has RNA as a genetic material. We have what? We have DNA, but they have what? RNA as a genetic material. They have 2 strands of RNA. Both of them are separate. They are not double-stranded RNA. They are separate. Okay, so RNA is there. Now, slowly, they come and infect our cell. Usually, the first cell to be affected are macrophages. Or what? Macrophages. So they come and affect us, and they have a very bad way of doing it. Listen to me. So the RNA which is there, it is put inside. The viral protein, viral coat which is there, it is left outside. So RNA is now inside our body, inside our cell actually, right? Now they have an enzyme which is known as reverse transcriptase. So usually, you know, generally in our cells, there is a process that is known as transcription. Where what is going to happen? Where from the DNA you are going to make up the RNA. From the DNA you make up the RNA, right? Now here you are going to do ulta of it, opposite of it. So from the RNA you are going to make the DNA. Why, you may ask? Because in our cell what do we have? DNA. And if at all it want to use our machinery, it has to form a DNA. So which is why with the help of an enzyme that is reverse transcriptase, it does reverse transcription and makes what? A DNA out of an RNA. And now this viral DNA which is there, it is going to get incorporated into our genome, host genome, right? And when it gets incorporated over here, it is using our machinery to form what? Viral RNA, viral protein, everything. So viral RNA is being made, viral protein is made. Now you got baby viruses, they will move out and infect the other cell. Now you might be thinking, who is bringing this reverse transcriptase enzyme? It is an enzyme that is brought by this guy only, the virus only. Okay, please remember the name of reverse transcriptase enzyme. It is super important. You get multiple questions. Okay, and why is it doing it? To just get incorporated into our cell out there. So, virus entry. HIV enters the macrophages after infection. So, what does it enter? First of all, what cell does it affect? It usually affects the macrophages. This is the first cell to be affected. And you know what? Since it is the first cell to be affected, it is going to keep on increasing the number right over here. And then it will be producing so many HIV viruses out there, which is why I'll call this as the HIV factory. I can call this as what? The HIV factory of the cell. Okay. Now, that does not mean it is not going to affect any other cell. No, it does not work like that. So listen to me. First of all, it comes to the macrophages, increase the number. Now, the major cell which it wants to affect is not macrophage. It is what? T helper cell. Remember T lymphocytes? In that you have T helper cells, which is something that is helping all the other cells to be activated, right? Now suppose some virus is affecting the T helper cells. Don't you think it won't be able to do anything out there? Yes, it won't be. So which is why our immune system is going to go so down. So if at all you're asked this question that HIV virus affects which cell the most, it is T helper cells. What is the HIV factory? It is macrophages. If at all you are getting the macrophage and T helper cells as an option and you are being asked which one is the HIV factory, it is definitely macrophages. Which one is the cell that is targeted by HIV viruses? It is T helper cells. Okay, please know that. Okay, so yes, RNA genome converts to viral RNA. I already spoke about this, so I do not think there is too much to talk about over here. Now, so over here, it decreases the T helper cells, weakens our immune system, which is why we will be having several symptoms such as fever, diarrhea, and weight loss, and sudden weight loss. Okay. And also remember, there are some opportunistic infections that is usually not happening to us. They're just waiting for an opportunity to come and to make our immune system weak, and that's when it affects us. For example, mycobacterium, infection caused by mycobacterium, some other viruses, some other fungi, parasites such as toxoplasma. Please remember them. Their questions have not come, but you can expect. So mycobacterium, toxoplasma, they can cause opportunistic infections. Okay, fine. And the diagnostic test that you have, I told you in typhoid you have Vidal. In the case of HIV, you have ELISA, enzyme-linked immunosorbent assay. Ma'am, can HIV be treated? HIV cannot be treated, but your life can be prolonged. Why? How? You can be given antiretroviral drug. Okay, antiretroviral drug can be given so that this viruses do not, increase in the number too much. Okay, so that can be done. That's the whole thing about HIV. And over here, I have a question for you guys to solve. Try to solve it. In which of the following HIV replicates and produces its progeny viruses? Try to solve out this question and let me know the answer for this. In the state preparatory, they have asked about genetic code, and from the principal, they asked about the genotype. Biotechnology, they asked about transform and recombinant. How can I send those questions to you so that you can help me to solve those questions? So dear, if at all you can comment down. Okay, San G, you can comment them down in the comment section below and I can take that up, if that is okay. Yes? Dhanishri says the answer for this question is A. Is it A? In which of the following HIV replicates and produces progeny viruses? Helper T cells, memory T cells, killer T lymphocytes, suppressor T cells. It is what? Helper T cells. Absolutely correct. Awesome. Okay, try to solve this question. During replication of retrovirus, what is going to happen? Viral protein is introduced in the host cell. Viral RNA is introduced in the host cell. Viral DNA is introduced in the host cell. Transcriptase enzyme is introduced into the host cell. What would be your answer for this particular question? Ma'am, what is the difference between the series and master stroke? Sushmita. Okay, Sushmita, so I'll tell you. So 0 to Hero series was just for the high weightage chapters. So it will be ending this week itself once we're done with the most high weightage chapters out there. Okay. We thought it will be like a big help for you because you find it difficult, right, to do these chapters by yourself. So that is why we had it. Now, as I said, we will be stopping it and we will be having master stroke. Master stroke is basically, you'll get 2 lectures. One lecture is recorded where you have a one-shot video of the whole chapter. Okay, one shot recorded video of the whole chapter will be there, and then there will be a live session. Live session is for KCET question practice alone. Not PU2, it's just KCET question practice alone. If at all you want PU2 questions to be solved, there is PU2 Brahmastra series also available in the channel. You can go with that. Got it? I hope that helps. So master stroke is, the one shots are definitely going to help you out with the concept clarity for your PU2 and KCET. For the questions of PU2, you need to refer PU2 Brahmastra. For the questions of KCET, you need to refer the live of master stroke. Yeah? Now, Dhanasri and Ananda says, Ananda, hi dear, says the answer for this question is what? D. Transcriptase enzyme is introduced into the host cell. So, viral protein is introduced? No, Baba, no viral protein. Viral RNA is introduced into the host cell? Viral RNA is introduced into the host cell. Viral DNA is introduced into the host cell. Transcriptase enzyme is introduced into the host cell. So, what did you answer? You guys answered D. But do you think the answer is D? Do you think the answer is D? Check once more. Read the question properly. Read the question really, really well and then tell. Once more, try Madi. Hello Ananda, hello. Guys, check the answer once more and then only, so question once more and then only go ahead. B or D? Okay, so I'll tell you why it's not D. Because here transcriptase enzyme is written. Our enzyme that we need in the case of virus is what? Reverse transcriptase. So which is why D cannot be the option anyways. Okay, it is going to be B. Viral RNA is introduced into the host cell, right? And this RNA undergoes reverse transcription to form DNA or the viral DNA, right? It's reverse transcriptase which is introduced, which is why your answer is going to be B. Yes, Kavita. Yes, Ananda. Yes. Dhanashri, I hope you got it. Yeah? And that's how we learn, right? We do mistakes, but we learn. Now try to solve this question. Identify the incorrect statement. HIV is transmitted by mosquito bite. Pneumonia is a bacterial disease. Cancer is a non-infectious disease. Ringworm is a fungal disease. What do you think is the answer for this question? And children, please share this video link with all of your friends. So I'm really sad by the number of people who are watching this. Why? Because I see very huge numbers out there one day before examination. One day before examination is like a huge traffic load out there. Why? Because we all study one day before. And I'm really proud of all of you who are studying today. At this point, awesome. But please tell your friends also to join, because you know what? We are taking these long lives. Who are we doing this for? For you guys. And if at all you're not utilizing it, it's very sad thing to see, right? So yeah. A is what Dhaneshri is saying. Dhaneshri is saying A. Identify the incorrect statement. HIV is transmitted by mosquito bite. It is incorrect. Definitely. HIV is not transmitted by mosquito bite, right? Listen, HIV, why will it give, mosquito which is there, it drinks our blood. It does not give us blood. Okay, it does not give us blood. So suppose it has drank some blood from some HIV infected person. Do you think it will give us some blood? It does not know whether it is HIV infected or not. It is just to have the blood meal, right? It does not give us blood. So which is why HIV is not transmitted by mosquito bite. Always remember that. Okay? Fine. Now, okay, Sanji, if at all you can you check if at all that question is there in the question bank? If it is there in the question bank, I think I can help you. If it all, you tell me the question number, I can try to solve it. Yeah? Now, identify the enzyme that catalyzes the step labeled as M in the given schematic representation of replication of retrovirus. So over here, this particular picture is given and you are being asked, what is M? So what is M over here? Viral RNA to viral DNA is being put, and you can just put this. What do you think is the answer for this? Okay, you gave me the answer for this, Sanji. It is A. The answer is what? Reverse transcriptase. Over here, it's very straight question. It is what? Reverse transcriptase, which will be helping in reverse transcribing the RNA to the DNA. Easy question, right? This came in 2019. Cool. Let's go ahead with the next question. Do we have any question? No. So in your PU2, MQP2, there was a question. Guess, Ananda, it was A. Okay. So there was a question like this. Retrovirus, retrovirus, and the virus infects this cell, normal cell. Viral RNA is introduced in the host cell. Reverse transcription happens. Then what happens? What is this? After reverse transcription, you get the viral DNA being formed. Now the viral DNA or the viral genetic material is in the nucleus of the host cell. The viral DNA incorporates into the host genome. And what happens after it gets incorporated? It forms viral RNA, viral proteins, everything. And when it forms everything, the virus is going to come out. So you need to fill in this thing. Also remember, you might be asked to make this particular diagram. Do I have the diagram? Let me check. Yes. This particular diagram, usually question was asked to schematically represent the mode of HIV infection. This is how it gets. Please make sure you know this diagram really well to make it. Okay? Yes. So I think that is clear. Can I go ahead with the next concept? Children, everyone who is here, can I go with concept number 6, that is cancer? If at all yes, can you just give me a quick thumbs up and I'll just go. If it's okay, just give me a quick thumbs up and I'll go with the next concept. Okay, fine. It's not there in QB, ma'am. Totally unexpected question. Oh my God. Transformant and recombinant type of question in preparatory 1. Listen, if at all you're asking about preparatory 1 question paper, I had solved it. I had a paper discussion video. Please go and watch it. Preparatory 1, I had paper discussion and I clearly remember a transformant and recombinant question out there. So you can go and solve it. If that works. Okay? And guys, thank you for giving me a thumbs up. Let's go ahead. The next thing, that is cancer. So how is, okay, so the first question that comes up usually in PU2 is, what are the different characters of cancer cells? So what do you think are the different characters of cancer cells? Listen to me. The first one is that if at all you have a normal cell right over here, the normal cells, my dear children, they grow, but they grow controllably. Okay, so that this they divide into two cells, this divide into 2 cells, and this process is very slow. But in the case of cancer cells, this is going to be really, really fast, and it is going to be uncontrollable. So uncontrollable or uncontrolled cell growth is there in the case of cancer cells. And something similar to it, that is basically in a normal cell which is there, okay, in a normal cell which is there, a cell divides into 2, right? And when this cells comes in contact, they stop the division. This is known as contact inhibition. What do you call this? This is known as contact inhibition. On the other hand, if at all you talk about cancerous cell, suppose these cells divide and they come in contact. Arey Baba, does not care only. It keeps on dividing like this. They keep on dividing. This is known as loss of contact inhibition. So cancer cells, my dear children, they have loss of contact inhibition lost, and uncontrolled cell growth. Apart from that, the most malignant type of problem, okay, most bad type of issue that is caused here is that they show metastasis. Metastasis means what? Basically, suppose there are some cancer cells over here. They travel throughout our body and go to different parts of our body. This feature is known as metastasis. So cancer cells spread via the blood to distant body parts, forming what? New tumors. So these tumors, my dear, are of 2 types. One is benign. Benign means it just stays there. It's safe. It's okay. You just have to remove that part. There is malignant form of tumor where the cells, my dear children, are going to move around everywhere inside your body. And that is very, very dangerous. Okay? Fine. Got it? So that is about the tumor. And now I have a question for you. Try to solve this. Certain tumors are called malignant because they are not neoplastic. Neoplastic means, listen, cancerous cells are neoplastic in nature. They have the plasticity to adapt, to basically divide, to do all the things. We call this feature as neoplastic feature. So over here it said that certain tumors are malignant because they are not neoplastic. They are confined to specific location. They invade and damage the surrounding tissue. They show contact inhibition. What do you think is the answer for this? Everyone, come on, try to do this. Ma'am, I have a doubt. During KCET application, do we have to add our second PUC registration number anywhere? They didn't ask me anywhere. Second PUC registration number, even I have to check for it, Preetham. Will it be okay if at all I just see the steps once? Because I had made the video long back now. It's been 10 days, almost 10 days. Did you check my video on KCET registration? If at all anywhere you saw KCET, in KCET registration there was what do you call second PUC registration number, then it will be there. If at all you have seen the video, if you have seen the video, just check through once, or I can check it from my end also. Okay, so I did the video 10 days before, so I do not clearly remember it. I have to check it. Okay, Ananda says the answer for this question is C. Yes. So certain tumors are known as malignant, are called malignant. Why? Because Baba, they are causing trouble. What trouble? They go on, invade and damage the surrounding tissues. So your answer for this question is going to be C. Okay. AXA is minority certificate important for KCET application for Muslim category. So if at all you are claiming for minority reservation, yes, you would need the reservation category certificate. Okay, fine. Now, which is the most feared property of malignant tumor? Neoplasty, metastasis, rapid invasive growth, or loss of contact inhibition? What do you think is the most feared property of malignant tumor? Neoplasty, metastasis, rapid invasive growth, and loss of contact inhibition. What do you think is the answer for this question? Guys, try it, Madi. B. Ananda says B. What about others who are watching this video? What do you think is the answer for this question? Most feared property will be what? So neoplasty is a feature of cancer cell. Metastasis is a feature of cancer cell. Rapid invasive growth is also a feature. Loss of contact inhibition is also a feature, but you are asked about most feared one, and that is metastasis. That it spreads throughout our body. So yes, your answer is going to be B for this question. Awesome. Now, okay. The next topic that came up is types of carcinogens, the ones that causes cancer, my dear children. You have multiple types. One is physical, one is chemical, and one is biological. And under this, biological is the most important in terms of your PU2. Okay, we'll go one by one. Physical means, for example, Dhanishri, also awesome dear. Okay, physical means, for example, some radiation. You're talking about X-rays, gamma rays, UV rays. All of them, these rays, when they fall on our DNA, it can cause some mutation, some changes in our DNA. So they are known as physical carcinogens for the reason. And always remember, in radiations you have non-ionizing and you have ionizing radiation. Your X-rays comes under ionizing radiation, and these ionizing radiations are more dangerous than non-ionizing ones. Okay, ionizing ones are more dangerous than non-ionizing ones. Now you have chemical carcinogens. For example, someone is smoking tobacco. So this is basically going to cause what? Lung cancer. Why? Because it is going to release some chemical carcinogens, which is why we say that people should not be smoking. It can cause cancer. You might have seen that, right? Before any movie begins up, there is a thing being put up there. Why? Because definitely there are so many cases where you have cancer being caused because of smoking. And my dear children, this is not a joke. So I have my brother who is a maxillofacial surgeon, okay? And by that I mean surgery, the person who does surgery over here, the mouth and the throat and the neck region out there, right? And there are so many cases out there where people who have smoked, they come and they have cancers. So please be aware of all of this thing, okay? Yes. So, yeah. Now, okay, just a second. Sanji, thank you so much, ma'am. I got the questions. Okay, it was there, the preparatory one. Okay, fine. I hope I'll meet you one day. Oh, that's so sweet. I also hope I meet all of you one day. That's sweet. Yes. So, yes, we were here. Now, talking about biological biological carcinogens. In that, my dear children, you have in our normal cells, okay, in our normal cells, you have certain genes which you call as proto-oncogenes. What do you call them? Proto-oncogenes. These proto-oncogenes are something that are there in our cells, function very normally. But suppose some mutations have taken place over here, some changes have taken place over here. These proto-oncogenes turns the whole cell into what? Cancerous cell. So proto-oncogenes are normally there in our body, and my dear children, if at all they are mutated by any chance, it can make the whole cell turn into a cancerous cell. Apart from that, you might have heard about some viruses that causes cancer. So some viruses are there. These viruses, my dear children, they carry some genes. These genes are known as oncogenes. Oncogenes as in cancer-causing genes. So when these viruses come and affect us, they can transfer these oncogenes into us, and this can also turn a normal cell into what? Cancerous cell. So biological, you have oncogenic viruses. They contain viral oncogenes that can cause cancer. Apart from that, you have cellular oncogenes, as in the cellular oncogenes, which you also call as what? Proto-oncogenes. They are normal genes that can trigger cancer under special conditions only. So please remember that it's been asked mostly in PU2. Super important question. Cool? Done? So yes. And now we have the next thing, that is cancer detection techniques. So there are ways. I hope children you are understanding things, right? If there are any doubts that is popping up in your small little head, please let me know. Okay? Okay. So detection techniques. So all the detection techniques that are given over here are for finding the cancer of internal organs. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead with the first technique, and that is the basic one. You might have heard anyone who has cancer, they have underwent biopsy test. What is biopsy? Biopsy means, suppose for example over here there is a small growth in the body. This particular growth, some part of it, some tissue is being taken, being cut, that is known as biopsy. And now when it is checked thoroughly, it is known as histopathology. So tissue sample is stained and examined under a microscope, that comes under biopsy and histopathology. First of all, you have to take this up, okay? Now, blood and bone marrow test detects increased cell count. So you might have seen normal CBC, complete blood count test is been done. And if at all the cell's normal level is being increased, that means that basically there is uncontrolled cell growth. So that is also how you can find, okay, if at all there is some problem. Apart from that, there are some imaging techniques, and these are very, very important. What are these imaging techniques? First one is radiography. Normal X-rays. Okay, normal X-rays when you are using to detect the cancer of internal cancer, that can be done. Apart from that, there is CT scan. CT scan is for getting the three-dimensional image. Remember, it has a specific function. What is it? For getting the three-dimensional imaging of the internal organs. In the CT scan, computerized tomography also, you are using X-rays itself. This is also ionizing radiation. So which is why we say radiography and CT scan is not the safest way to find things out. Which is why everyone is not allowed inside the X-ray chamber. Why? Because these things have the potential to cause troubles also in your DNA. They are physical carcinogens. Fine. And now they are used for finding the problems also. So yes, so X-ray is for detecting internal cancer. CT scan is specifically for 3D imaging of internal organs, again internal cancer. And now you have MRI. So MRI is the safest among all of them. MRI means magnetic resonance imaging. Over here, you are not going to use ionizing radiation. Rather than that, you use two things. One is magnetic field, and the second one is non-ionizing radiation, which is why it is comparatively safer option. And over here you need to understand that this is for finding out any changes in the living cell also. Specifically, it is for what? The living tissues out there. If at all you want to find any physiological changes in the living tissue that is there inside our body, you can use this. So basically all of them are for internal organs, but they have their specificity. Again, CT scan for three-dimensional imaging of internal organs, MRI for the living tissues, for finding things in the living tissues. So please note that. Okay. Now, apart from biopsy, apart from blood and bone marrow test, apart from imaging techniques, you also have one more thing, and that is cancer-specific antibody test. That means, suppose we already know that when someone has cancer, these are the antibodies which are being released. We already know that this is the specific antibody which is being released. Now what do? Suppose you have a suspect over here who thinks that they have cancer. We take their blood checkup, and if at all we see the same type of antibodies being produced in their body, that means probably, yeah, there are chances they might also have what? Cancer. Okay, so this is one very important thing. So cancer-specific antibody test. Now there are other molecular biology techniques that are there, and that is helping us to understand more about how cancer is being caused and how cancer can be prevented as well. Okay, I hope this is clear. This is a very important topic for your PU2. Cancer as a whole is an important topic for PU2. Do not take it lightly. Now, there is a question that I have for you. Try to solve this. Identify the techniques useful in detecting the cancer of internal organs. CT, MRI, radiography, all of the above. What do you think is the answer for this? Identify the techniques useful for detecting cancers of internal organs. Come on, children. Everyone, try to solve it. Ananda is here saying the answer for this question is A. Okay. Dhanya says the answer is D. Anyone else wants to give any other answer? The answer for this question is D. Why D? Because I told you every other thing is for finding things of internal organs, but they are specific. One gives three-dimensional image of internal organs, one gives idea about the living tissues which are there in a part of our internal organs, and radiography is also for our internal organs. So your answer for this question is going to be D, which is why exactly I kept this question. This is kind of confusing. Okay, sometimes we mess this up. Not mess it up. This 2021 question, very recent question. Yes. So similar question have come, and that is in 2025, the previous year. Can you believe it? Try to solve this question. Which of the following are the techniques for detection of cancer of internal organs? Again, this question came. Try it out. What do you think is the answer for this? Radiography, MRI, computer tomography, Vidal test, radiography, MRI, Vidal test. Come on, champions. You can. Guys, any guesses? What do you think is the answer for this? Shall I tell you? Dhanya says the answer for this question is A. Okay. A is what? A and B. Is it A and B? Ananda also says A. Since you guys are saying A, let's make it A. Yes. So radiography and MRI definitely there. MRI and CT is also there. Vidal test is for typhoid. Wrong, Baba. And Vidal test again for typhoid. So your only answer is going to be A and B. You guys are correct. Awesome. So how do you feel while solving these questions? I hope you feel good. That yes, I am able to solve all of this now. Yeah. So now we have treatment of cancer, and with that we'll end cancer and we'll move ahead with the next and the last topic, and that is what? Drugs. Yes. So treatment of cancer goes like this. First of all, there is surgery. Okay. Hi Neha. So Neha is also there saying the answer for this is A. Good. Awesome. So surgery is a way where you remove the tumors out. Second one is radiation therapy. Radiation therapy is where you are going to put some lethal radiation out there that is going to kill the cancerous cells. Apart from that, you have chemotherapy. Chemotherapy is basically when you give some drugs, and these drugs specifically goes and acts on the, what do you call, fastly dividing cells, super fastly dividing cells out there. Which is why the people who probably undergo cancer treatment, they have rapid hair fall. Why? Because our hair cells are also something like that. They also rapidly divide. So our drugs which are being given to us, they are not able to identify which one is a cancerous cell, which one is a normal cell. The ones which are rapidly dividing are being affected. That is why we see two things in cancer patient. One is anemia, because lot of your normal blood cells are being affected. Second thing that you see is that hair follicles, the hair also sheds off. Okay. So yeah, so they can be given individually depending on what stage the cancer is, or they can be given as a combination therapy together if at all the stage is grievous. Okay. Now immunotherapy is there. This is a question that we usually see. Immunotherapy, in this, my dear children, you are going to give some alpha interferons. This interferon is different from the other one. I told you when I was teaching about the other interferon, I told you one more interferon is going to come, and this is that. Alpha interferon are given to cancer patients. Why? Because they are biological response modifiers. They increase our immunity. They are going to boost up our immunity and going to destroy the tumor cells out there, which is why I'll call them what? Biological response modifiers. Got it? So this is super important. Always remember it. Okay, and it is given to cancer patients. Fine. So I have a question for you. Identify the odd one from the following. Try to solve this. Identify the odd one from the following: alpha interferon, proto-oncogenes, oncogenic virus, and UV rays. Ayo. So Ananda says A. A is the odd one out. Is it A? Okay. What about others? Identify the odd one out. A. Okay. So A is what is said by Ananda. What about proto-oncogenes, oncogenic virus, UV rays? Baba, all of them, if at all you see carefully, they are carcinogens. They causes cancer. And there is only one thing that is helping us fight cancer. And that is what? Alpha interferons, right? So that is why it is the odd one out. Good, Neha, and good, Dhanashri. Awesome. Okay. So yes, your answer is going to be A. Now, let's go ahead and let's see what type of questions have come in MQP 2-3 this year. Name the group of genes that have been identified in normal cells that could lead to cancer. It is proto-oncogenes. Yeah, which technique are useful in detecting cancer of internal organs? You know, MRI, CT scan, and radiography, all of it. Now, why are cancer patients often given alpha interferons? Because they are biological response modifiers. This is a 3-marker question that came this time. And now we end up with the last concept, that is drugs. Are we ready? If at all we are ready with this, can you just give me a quick thumbs up, everyone who's watching this? Can you just give me a quick thumbs up if at all we are ready to go with drugs? And it's going to be a very, 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 what do you call, interesting topic. So drugs is often where children forget things, thinking that it is too difficult to remember it, but according to me, it's actually simple. Yes, thank you, Neha. Okay, chalo. It's not simple because I'm a teacher, it's simple because it's fun to learn. So listen, we have 3 groups of drug. One is opioids, second one is cannabinoids, and the third one is coca-alkaloids. Okay, opioids, cannabinoids, coca-alkaloids. So first one is opioids. And where do you get it from? You get it from Papaver somniferum. This is the plant, that is Papaver somniferum. And as of here, you can see pods. These are pods. And these pods, my dear children, they produce some whitish latex. What do you call? Latex. Okay. Now what do? You take that latex, and from this latex, you get a very, very, very important drug that is known as morphine. You know what does morphine do? It is used by doctors, okay? It is used by doctors because it is not used by doctors to take for themselves. It is used for treating the patients who have underwent some surgery. After surgery, you know, there's too much pain and things like that. They're not able to sleep. So which is why you need to give a sedative. Sedative is something that makes you sleep. And also a painkiller that will make your pain less. So morphine is just like that. But remember, it's not taken by everyone. It's not like you have a pain, now you will take morphine. No, baba. It can lead to that also. So it's only given in few doses by the doctors out there. It's sedative and a painkiller. Okay. And it is used in patients who have undergone surgery. Now, morphine is an opioid, comes under opioid. It starts from O. If at all you see the structure of morphine, this also looks like O. So if at all the structure is given and you are asked to identify, just understand this is what morphine. Now, this particular morphine is made to undergo certain changes, as in it is made to undergo acetylation process. And when it is undergoing acetylation process, you get another version of morphine which you call as diacetyl morphine. What do you get? You get diacetyl morphine, which you also call as what? Heroin. Which you also call as heroin. Okay, just a second, sorry. Yeah, and listen, there is other name for heroin also which you need to know, and that is smack. So heroin, baba, has 3 names: diacetyl morphine, heroin, and smack. And also remember that this guy which is there, it is a depressant. It slows down your body function. You feel very sad. It is a depressant and it slows down the body function. And how do you take it? By snorting or by injection. The mode of taking it is also important. Snorting or basically injection is usually been done. It is white, odorless, bitter crystalline compound. So in movies and all, this show like drugs like now. So it's like white color. So here also it's white, odorless. It does not smell anything. It's bitter. It is crystalline compound out there. That's about heroin. So morphine is a sedative and a painkiller. Both of them are going to slow down your body, okay? Heroin is going to be a depressant. It completely slows down your body. So where is it actually affecting? Where is it actually affecting to slow down our body? Who controls all of this thing? Your brain and the spinal cord. So it basically affects your CNS, central nervous system. Apart from that, it also affects your gastrointestinal tract. Two things, CNS and gastrointestinal tract. Remember. So I'll just revise it once for you. Listen to me carefully. I'll be like Shatabdi Express very fast, okay? So opioid is there. You have two types of opioids, morphine and heroin. Morphine is basically a sedative and a painkiller given by doctors to patients who have undergone surgery. It looks like an O. Now, when it undergoes acetylation, you get what? You get heroin. It is a depressant. It slows down the body function. Thank you. And the mode of intake is what? Snorting or basically injection. You also need to remember one very important thing. Basically, heroin which is there, it is white, it is odorless, it is bitter, it is crystalline compound out there. Done. It's diacetyl morphine, smack, all of it. Fine. How do you get it? You get it from the latex. Morphine, you get it from the latex of the poppy plant, or you also call it as Papaver somniferum. Where is going to affect? It is going to affect your central nervous system or your gastrointestinal tract. Done. That's all about opioids, the first group of drug. And here I think you have the first question also. Tell me the answer for the question. Morphine is obtained from the inflorescence of cannabis, leaves or erythroxylum, latex of poppy plant, roots of atropa. What do you think is the answer for this question? Come on, try it out, everyone. Dhanya says C is the answer for this question. What about others? What about others? Can I lock C? Latex of poppy plant. No, morphine you get from latex of poppy plant. Poppy plant is what? Papaver somniferum. So yes, Baba, your answer is C only. No confusions. Easy question. Very straight question. Right? Now, going ahead with the next question. Read the... wait. This you cannot solve as of now. For this, we need to come back. Wait. Okay. We need to talk about cannabinoids first. Then we can talk about that question. Okay, so let's talk about cannabinoids now. Second group of drugs, cannabinoids. And this cannabinoid drug is super simple because over here, whatever drugs name you know until now, okay, charas, ganja, marijuana, everything, they will be coming under cannabinoids, okay? And the mode of intake is inhalation. Either you inhale it or basically you mix it up something and then drink or eat it up. That is oral ingestion. So inhalation or oral ingestion. It's not injection, it is ingestion. Okay. So in the case of opioid, you had it through snorting as well as injection. Here you are having it through inhalation as well as ingestion. And also remember one very important thing, that is the structure of cannabinoids looks like this. So there is steps like this. Okay, there are few steps like this, and also cannabinoids you get from cannabis sativa. And you know what? You get it from each part of cannabis sativa, inflorescence as in leaf, stem, any part that you take. From there you are going to get different drugs, my dear children. Marijuana, hashish, charas, ganja, anything you will get. And it does not affect your central nervous system majorly. It will be affecting your cardiovascular system. Cardiovascular system as in your heart and your heartbeat and everything around there. So it is the only drug that is going to affect your cardiovascular system. If at all you compare opioids, cannabinoids and coca alkaloids, among that it is the only drug that is affecting your cardiovascular system. Now in your NCERT, one line is given somewhere else just to confuse you guys, and that is, which is a drug that is abused by sports person, as in people who are into sports, they take up this drug very often. What is that drug? This is cannabinoids. So always remember, cannabinoids are the drugs which are abused by sports person out there. Okay? So over here, I showed you the answer. Okay, still try. Showed you the answer, but you can still try. Statement number 1, morphine is obtained by acetylation of heroin. Statement number 2, cannabinoids are known for their effect on the cardiovascular system. Which of the following option is correct with reference to these statements? Tell me the answer for this. What do you think is correct? Guys, come on, come on, come on. C is the answer for this question. Okay. Teen baan kafi hai. Nice name. Says the answer for this question is A. Both statement 1 and 2 are correct. No, that is not the correct option. What is C? Statement 1 is incorrect and statement 2 is correct. Yes, that is the correct answer. Why is it, Baba? Morphine is obtained by distillation of heroin. Ulta, it's opposite. Morphine is not obtained by distillation of heroin. Heroin is obtained by distillation of morphine. So this is wrong. Cannabinoids are known for their effect on cardiovascular system. Yes, we just studied right now. Yes, it does. So which is why statement 1 is correct. Sorry, statement 1 is incorrect and statement 2 will be correct. Okay. Now try to solve this question. From which of the given plants is the drug whose skeletal structure is given below extracted? From which of these plants this particular drug is extracted? So first of all, please understand what is this drug. This is a 2018 question. Oh my bad, it's totally fine. That's how we learn. Okay guys, try to solve this. What is this drug? I told you, you have few steps like this. Where do you have few steps like this? In the case of cannabinoids. Yeah, and where do you get cannabinoids from? You get it from cannabis sativa. So your answer for this question is going to be C. Yes, Dhanishri, it is what? C, cannabis sativa. Okay, got it? Now, we have the third group of drug, which is coca alkaloids. Yes, teen ban kafi. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, third group of drug is coca alkaloids. Let me tell you, the first one, opioids and coca alkaloids have one thing in common. Both of them are going to affect your central nervous system. Opioids affect your gastrointestinal tract also. This guy just affects your central nervous system. And in central nervous system, it is very specific. It interferes between dopamine transmission. You know, dopamine is the happy hormone. So whenever you are happy, the dopamine is being released in your body. Okay, so basically, here, because of this drug, the dopamine transmission continuously happen, which is why what is going to happen, we will be so happy. And there is a stage we reach which is known as immense happiness. You call this as euphoria. Euphoria. So people have coca alkaloids because under this comes cocaine, and cocaine will be causing what? It will be leading to euphoria, that is increased sense of happiness. But if at all someone has it too much, they will also start getting hallucination. For example, as of now I am over here. You guys are there inside basically at your home, right? If I am taking this drug in too much amount, I will be start seeing you guys in real over here. The things which are not happening in real, I will be starting to feel it, to see it. I'll be seeing cows which are flying. I'll be having so many other things which are not actually possible out there. This is known as hallucination. Even though this sounds very funny and all, funny for me also, but you know what? This is very tricky and can be very risky for your life. Yeah, so coca alkaloids example is cocaine. It's affecting your central nervous system, especially your dopamine transmission. It leads to increased euphoria, but high doses can also lead to hallucination. Where do you get it from? You get it from erythroxylum coca. Erythroxylum coca. And my dear children, this plant is native to South America. A question has come from this. This plant is native to what? South America. Please remember this. So erythroxylum coca, native to South America. And cocaine is also known as coke or crack. Coke or crack. Heroin is known as what? Smack, right? Here, cocaine is known as coke or crack. And also one more very important thing. In your NCERT, erythroxylum coca is there that causes hallucination. Apart from that, two other plants are also there which causes hallucination. One is, where is it? One is, Atropa belladonna. The second one is datura. So first one is Atropa belladonna, second one is datura. Remember, picture of datura is also given. It looks like this. There's a funnel-shaped flower over here. Both of them also cause hallucination. Atropa belladonna and also datura. And now you have Erythroxylum coca also. So basically 3 of them. Now try to solve this question. That is, the transport of which neurotransmitter is interfered by cocaine? This is 2020 question. Is it dopamine? Is it serotonin? Is it acetylcholine? Is it GABA? What do you think is the answer for this question? Easy question. Very, very, very simple. Try to solve this. Dhanya says the answer for this question is A. Yes, Baba. It is what? A. Why it is A? Because we just studied it. That it is dopamine transmission that is getting affected by cocaine. Cocaine is also known as white lady. Yes. Okay. Chalo. That is a new piece of information out there. Okay. So which among the following plants is a source of drug which is native to America? Try this. Guys, try to solve this. Which among the following plants is a source of drug which is native to America? B. Erythroxylum coca. Dhanashri and 3 ban kafi hai? Yes, it will be Erythroxylum coca. And yes, it is known as white lady. Why? Because of its, probably because of its powdery texture, white thing. Yeah, but yeah, anyways, it was nice to know that. Okay, now one more question is there. This is from your MQP. This is your PU2 question. Which of the following plants does not possess hallucinogenic properties? Erythroxylum coca, Atropa belladonna, datura, or Papaver somniferum? What do you think is the answer for this? Does not possess hallucinogenic property. Numan Inamdar is there. Hello, Numan. So Numan says the answer for this question is B. Is it B? Does not possess hallucinogenic properties. So those of you who had been with me, who had studied over here, might know the answer. Guys, check the question once more. It's easy. It's easy. Does not possess hallucinogenic properties. I told you 3 plants have hallucinogenic properties. What were those? Every one of you have studied with me. Dhanashri and 3 ban kafi. Come on, guys. You should be telling the correct answer at least. 3 plants that has hallucinogenic properties. Erythroxylum coca. One is the picture that we saw of the funnel-shaped flower. Remember? It was datura. And the third one was Atropa belladonna. They were all causing hallucination. One among them is not going to cause, and that is what? Papaver somniferum. Right? Papaver somniferum, opium poppy, it does not cause hallucination. Morphine and heroin, they are produced with the help of this plant. So which is why your answer is going to be D, not B. Children, understood it now? Still have some confusions around it. Ma'am, I had got 60 in second preparatory. I had revised it from you. Nimma. Oh, that's so sweet, Numan. I hope it goes even more better. Okay? And yes, stay strong. You're doing really, really great. I'm so happy, and that's so kind of you to come back and tell that. Awesome. God bless you. Everyone, actually. Okay. So, children, now I hope you guys are not going to do this mistake. Okay? So, let's go ahead. Let's see some other drugs, and with this, drug part will be over. Okay, and that is first group of drugs that you have, it's BAB. It's what? BAB. BAB stands for barbiturates, amphetamines, and benzodiazepines. sometimes you will what do you call, you might not be able to remember the names, which is why I told you BAB. What is it? Barbiturates, amphetamines and benzodiazepines. What are they used for? They are used for something good, for treating insomnia. Suppose you're not able to sleep, doctor will be giving you this. Apart from that, depression also. If someone is having heavy depression out there, they will also be getting it. So it's not like for normal insomnia, tomorrow I have exam, tomorrow I'm not able, today I'm not able to sleep, I'll have some drugs like this. No, Baba. It's for people who are not able to sleep at all for days and they have some clinical issues. Okay, that's when you give these drugs. So barbiturates, amphetamines, benzodiazepines are for treating depression as well as insomnia. Done. Now, come over here. There is a very important drug, and that is nicotine. Nicotine is found where? In tobacco. So nicotine which is there, the question comes like this: which is that drug that increases blood pressure? And you might think, oh, it is coca alkaloids, because coca alkaloids has something to do with the cardiovascular system, so it will be coca alkaloids. No, Baba, it is nicotine. Because whenever someone smokes, now what exactly happens is that in your body there is an adrenaline rush. Adrenaline, noradrenaline, the rush will be there. And when there is adrenaline rush, these adrenaline, the hormones which are there, or neurotransmitters which are there, they are going to increase your blood pressure. So nicotine is a drug that leads to increase in your blood pressure or increase your heart rate. Always remember that. Okay. Now, health risk of smoking is that obviously I told you there is lung cancer, there is throat cancer, there is urinary bladder problem, respiratory diseases, bronchitis, emphysema, heart disease. Smoking is one of the worst thing on earth. However, what do you call, relieving it could be, that bad also it is. Okay, it's that bad, because all your cilia in your respiratory system, now there are so many cilia, and cilia are there for trapping things. You know what, all the cilia die because of the smokes out there. So please do not smoke. If at all there is someone who is asking you to try, also do not try. I'm telling you, it's not worth it. Okay, so yes, so health risk of tobacco chewing is also related to that only. And also remember, while you smoke, in your body, one very important gas, which is carbon monoxide, the level is increasing. And you know what, hemoglobin which is there, where is it? Hemoglobin which is there, it has two options. One is oxygen and one is CO. So usually hemoglobin goes and binds with the oxygen. But you know what, when carbon monoxide is there, hemoglobin is like, and it goes and binds with carbon monoxide, reducing the amount of oxygen in our cells. Okay, so that is really, really bad, right? So please not smoke. Otherwise, your body is going to face some oxygen deficiency also. Literally, I'm telling you. 3 ban kafi, I got 63. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, everyone. So as I said, literally I'm telling you, I've seen pictures of patients whose tongue have been cut and those regions have been removed because of cancer in the oral cavity due to smoking. And I'm not saying everyone who is not smoking will not get lung cancer. It's not like that. But people who smoke, their chances for getting lung cancer, oral cavity cancer is super high. So avoid that. Okay. Yes. So these are the drugs, and with this, the drugs part of the story also get used up. And I want you all guys to be turning into some doctors as of now and try to solve these questions for me. Okay. So yes. Start with drug 1 and try to identify it. Drug 1 is used by doctors as sedative and painkiller. What is this particular drug? Everyone, put drug 1 and write the answer. Hello, Geeta Kala. Okay, Geeta Kala is back. Yes. So children, everyone, used by doctors as sedative and painkiller. Which is this drug? You can put drug 1 and tell me the name. And I'm waiting. If at all you are there, you can go ahead and try to solve all of it, but let me know in the comment section right now, okay? So help patients to cope with insomnia and depression. There is a drug that will help patients who are not able to sleep and are in depression also. Then the third drug is the one that increases blood pressure and heart rate of the consumer. The drug 1 is morphine. Is it morphine? Used by doctors as sedative and painkiller. Awesome. Awesome, Dhanyashri. What about other things? Drug number 2. Helps patient to cope with insomnia and depression. I told you, insomnia and depression, there are 3 drugs out there. If at all you tell me the short forms also, it's better. It's okay. Drug 1 is morphine, Numan. Yes. Drug 1 is morphine. Drug 2, talking about drug 2. What is this? Insomnia and depression. Remember. Try to recall. This is how you can remember drugs. Otherwise, there is no other way to, memorize drugs. You will forget it. It will be what? Come on, guys. Speed up. It will be what? I'll be telling it. It is benzodiazepines, amphetamines, as well as barbiturates. Exactly. Drug 2 is BAB. Exactly. Awesome. That's what I was asking. Okay. So now increases blood pressure and heart rate of the consumer. What is drug 3? It increases the blood pressure and the heart rate of the consumer. I told you the example is this. Sorry, hint is this. What is this? In tobacco, what are you having which increases your blood pressure? This came in previous year model question paper. Drug number 3 is going to be what? Nicotine. Exactly. What about others, children? Only Dhanashri. Others also try. It is nicotine. Now drug number 4, act as depressant and slows down the body function. Yes, Numan, it is nicotine. Exactly. Now what is this drug which acts as depressant and slows down your body function? Depressant and slows down your body function. There are 2 drugs which are slowing things. What were those?
इंग्लिश कल आए थे क्या?
Live है. Yes. I think check कर लो. आए थे, but I'm not sure about which studio he used. Yes. Drug 4 is heroin. Awesome. Yes. Drug 4 is heroin. So your answer for that is also correct, Dhaneshri. And now we have the last drug out there. Affects cardiovascular system of the body. What is the drug that affects your cardiovascular system? I told you only one drug is there that affects the cardiovascular system. Guess it out. Come on, fast. Until drug 4, we have got drug 5th one. Cardiovascular system of our body is what? Drug number 5 is cannabinoids. Is what? Cannabinoids. And with that, we would be ending up. So over here, I have written everything. If at all you want to just check it up, you can do it from your end. Okay? You will get the PDF of it. Join the WhatsApp channel if you have not joined yet. Cool? Yes? And now, Numan is confusing. Dear, if at all you see the drug portion, once more, everything is going to be clear. Okay, drug portion, you see it once more. Go back and see it once more. Everything, I trust me on this, it will be clear. It's just that we feel it's difficult. No, it's not. And try to teach it. Okay, try to teach it to someone also. It will be more than that. Easy. Fine. Now, the last thing that is there is the effects of anabolic steroids. This is just one slide and we are ending it up. So, you know, some people have anabolic steroids, especially when you talk about sports personalities out there. And anabolic steroids have different side effects in males and females. This is a PU2 question. Okay, that is what is the function of anabolic steroids, effects on anabolic steroids in the case of females as well as males, and it came in KCET also. So in the case of females, they will have masculinization. That means masculine body will be there. Second thing, mood swings will be happening. Third thing, depression, irregular periods, and excessive hair and deep voice. So masculinization is something that you have. And then deep voice also is something that is related to masculinization, right? Mood swings will be extra. Okay, depression will be there. irregular periods will be there, and excessive hair is also going to be there. So these are the things of females. When you talk about males, again, acne, mood swings, depression, all of this is common. But apart from that, testicle size which is there, it is going to be reduced. There will be low sperm count in them. There will be baldness, okay, the hair that they have, it is going to be lost. And also they will be having prostate issue. Okay, so some things are common in both male and female, that is mood swings and depression. Apart from that, some things are related to the gender that they are in. So for example, females, they get irregular periods as well as the other things are there. Okay, and masculinization also is there in the case of females, excessive hair, deep voice, everything is related to males, but that is found in the case of females over here. Right, in the case of male, you just have acne, mood swings, depression. Apart from that, everything is related to masculinity, that is reduced testicle size, low sperm count, baldness, and also prostate issues. PDF not available in the group, ma'am. I'll talk to the team. Okay, thank you for letting me know. I let the team know about it, Jyoti. Okay, so yes, so these are the things that you need to remember. And over here, I have a question for you. This is going to be the last question for the day. One of the side effects of the use of anabolic steroids in females is what? One of the side effects of the use of anabolic steroids in female is what? Cirrhosis of liver, loss of memory, muscularization, hallucination. This is side effect of use of anabolic steroids in the case of males, okay? Sorry, in the case of females. Dhanashri says the answer for this question is C, musculinization. Exactly. So with that, yes, Geeta Kal also says the answer for this is what? C. And with that, we end up today's live. I hope, my dear children, you have understood each and everything about this chapter, that is human health and diseases. If you have any doubts which are left behind, please put it down in the comment section. I'll be taking that up. Yeah. And yeah, so the Master Stroke live series are going to soon start. And we want all of you to attend it. The numbers should not be like this. It is really, really sad to see these numbers. Okay, so please tell it to your friends also and be there. Dhaneshri, please provide the PDF of revision sessions. Revision sessions as in you're talking about these sessions or the PU2 ones? You're talking about preparatory ones, dear, or like? Geeta Kalal, dear, if at all you go behind a bit, I think you were not regularly watching it. If at all you watch it fully, it will be easy for you, okay? 4 hours of PU2, okay? I'll check with it, okay? I'll check and I'll give you. Yes? So children, thank you so much. I'll end up the live right now and see you really soon. Thank you so much for being there. Dhanishri, especially you. You have been throughout there. And lots of love for everyone. 4 hours live preparatory. The PDF is given. If at all you roll back a bit, you should be able to find it. But yes, if you're not, we'll try to give you. Okay? So lots of love. Bye-bye. Take care, please. And yes. Yes, Dhanashri, we'll be giving you that. Okay? So, bye children. Lots of love. And please take care.